So today we are going to rank the Pokemon we have seen so far in the trailers for Pokemon Champions, and I am joined by a pro Pokemon player, Alessio, right here. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. Cannot wait to start to play Pokemon Champions. And
Hell yeah.
and I definitely cannot wait to start to rank what we've seen so far because yeah, this is a partial list of the Pokemon that we will have in Pokemon Champions. So
Maybe the few rules we should add is, of course, like, first of all, we're going to make some assumptions here, right? Because it's
yeah,
possible they remove some moves, it's possible they add some moves, maybe they nerf some mons in the future, we don't know. And also, this isn't all the mons. This is just what we've seen in trailers. It's possible some of these don't even make it into the first regulation. There will be others as well. And as many people will know, Pokemon isn't like a vacuum, right? Like, if, for example, Mega Heatran turns out to be super broken, that's a fire steel, so ground is super, super powerful into it. Meaning, if Mega Heatran is insane, then ground mons, all ground mons, suddenly become way better and way more important. So, of course, this right now is kind of speculative. We're just having fun with it, and it's just a first look. I don't want people going, oh, but we can't know yet. Yeah, I know.
yeah.
Another thing is, of course, we have the tiers S, A, B, C, and D. And D is very important. It depends on mega ability, right? Because we don't know the abilities of all the new megas. And so some of these can go from okay to insane and vice versa. But yeah, okay, with all of that out of the way, let's start ranking these, starting with Venusaur. Where would you put Venusaur? And of course, it can Mega Evolve. How good is that Mega? All of that matters.
I'm playing Pokemon VGC competitively since 2017. I am
Mhm.
one of the few players around that actually played during the Mega Evolutions era. I say few because when I played my first Italian Pokemon Championship, we were 120 people. Right now
Mhm.
we are almost 1,000. So a lot
Yes.
of people didn't play at the time. So I already played some of these Mega Evolutions. For a lot of people are new, like for Maxime, but for me are old buddies. So yeah,
Yes.
the mega evolution of Venusaur is very good, but it really depends on the metagame more than a lot of others, because the ability is stick fat, which means that it's not really weak to ice and fire.
Mhm.
And it means that Venusaur is basically weak only against psychic and flying. At the time, there were no real uh, flying moves really scary, in the meta. So it was kind of decent, but not too much. It was played with Celestina. So I believe it's a C tier right now because
Ooh.
it's never been very useful competitively, but it really might depend on the meta, as we saw as we said at the beginning of the video.
Okay, see that's rough. I would have given my chunky little fella a B at least. I mean, we got B drill right here, you know. That is gonna. But yeah, maybe we'll end up moving stuff. We'll see. Maybe he is C tier. I don't
We'll see.
know.
We'll see.
I just know him as an annoying chlorophyll sleep powder guy. I've never played with his mega. Okay, so then Charizard. He has his base form, which is like a good sun sweeper, let's say, because solar power, boosts
Mhm.
all of his sun moves, heat wave, choice specs, together with Torkoal. We saw that in Reg Age, doing insane amounts of damage. But then, of course, he has his megas as well. You have the two megas. So I find it hard to like rank how good the megas are. But his base form, I want to put at least in solid already. How do you think his megas like move him up or down?
So the Mega Evolutions of Charizard are very strong. Like
Mm-hmm.
Charizard X is not too strong, but it's a very dangerous physical sweeper with Tough Claws, which
Mm-hmm.
is an ability that we will see later with Mega Metagross, later in the tier list. But
Mm-hmm.
it boosts the physical attacks. Also, not the physical attacks, but the contact moves.
Contact ones, yes.
Yeah. So Dragon Claw, which is not a very powerful move, usually becomes very, very strong, for example. With that attack, it's great. But the real deal is Charizard Y.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because of the sun. He sets up the sun.
Okay.
So
He's
It's not
Torkoal
solar
on
power, but it's
steroids.
drought. Yeah, it's like having both of them combined. And yeah, it doesn't have solar power, but the boost in special attack is slightly significant. So
Mm-hmm.
it's almost having like having both of them. Plus, the weather setters of the megas is like it's a huge factor because you can like protect bait the entrance of a rain setter or sandstorm setter or whatever, and then mega evolve and during the turn dynamically
Right.
change the weather, which is very strong. I would say at least A tier, if not even S, just because of
Whoa.
Charizard Y.
Okay, okay. So maybe we should have put the two different megas in here. I don't know if we can. So we can. That's crazy. So could we put like the Y in S and then the
Yeah.
his other two forms like this? Would that make more sense?
Yeah, I kind of believe that we wanted to like combine like the base form with the mega
Yeah.
sort of thing, because if we don't like as you did right now, probably Venusaur becomes B and the mega evolution of Venusaur becomes C. I don't know how you want to set up
Okay,
things,
okay.
but
So I'll
probably
keep
it's
them
better this
out.
way.
I'll keep them out to
Okay.
keep things easy.
Probably
So
we might go for a more specific one when we will have all the megas with all the
yes.
abilities
Yes,
revealed. Yeah.
yes. Okay, so for now we put him in A, or you want to put him in S already? Because keep in mind, there's Kangaskhan, there's Gengar. I'm thinking maybe he's not gonna be S by the end of this, or
No, I believe it will not be asked by the end
okay,
of this.
okay,
Probably A. Yeah, A is more fair.
okay, cool. So next we have Blastoise. His base form is not that good, like he's a bit slow. He can do Shell Smash stuff. He can do Water Spout. I've lost to a Blastoise once in my life. It was Shell Smash Water Spout with redirection. Kind of cheesy best of one stuff. Um, However, his Mega, of course, exists. How do you think that changes him? I'm gonna for a lot of the Megas, I'm gonna always ask your input more so because you are the expert when it comes to that.
It doesn't. It's
Uh
a very bad Mega Evolution anyway.
no, my
Um,
boy.
at the time, it didn't have a Shell Smash, if I'm not mistaken, but whatever. It didn't have the Citrus Berry as well because mm, with the Mega Evolution, you cannot have another item. So Shazmash without a Citrus Berry, and before someone says it in the comments, I don't want to play Blastoise with Comfy. Okay, just to heal him. So
Hey, didn't you get a very very good regional result with
yeah,
Comfy?
yeah, but the one thing is Travagos, another thing is a fake mon. And Travagos is a fake mon by itself, but Blastoise is much faker than
Oh
than
god.
Travagos. So I would say C. I don't see it as a threat for now. At least.
Okay, okay. So next we have Beedrill. I think stop me, but I think this goes straight in C, right?
Yeah, but this
Uh-oh.
is the kind of stuff that you lose against during the global challenges because Mega Beedrill has adaptability and is a very 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 fast attack.
Oh, so it's like
So
Basculegion. It's
yeah, as a sort of more glass cannonish Basque Legion,
even
and
more.
even more glass. But what I liked at the time of Beedrill, at the time I would have said B, just because it was full of tapus all
Mm-hmm.
over the place. Tapu Koko, Tapu Bulu, Tapu Lele, Tapu Fini were all weak against Beedrill. And since there was at least a tapu for each team, kinda,
Mm-hmm.
Beedrill was very strong against at least one strong Pokemon of the other team by default. There will not be Tapus for now, at least. We don't
Mm-hmm.
know. For now, we see if Tapus come back. Probably it's also be probably like a side Mega Evolution. Probably you play two, and for the eventual scenario of it, you have Beedrill as a side option.
Right. So this would be like your second restricted if megas are restricted, kind of.
Yeah,
Uh
that's very defamatory for the restricted
yeah,
name,
I
but
know. This is okay, next we have Pikachu. Now, of course, Pikachu is usually weaker than Raichu, but it was shown it can hold like the the light ball or whatever, like an item that only makes Pikachu stronger. But I'm going to assume it's just going to be in C
Yeah,
tier.
yeah.
Then we have Raichu though, and this one we don't know the abilities of the Megas. Some people have speculated that it sets electric terrain on one of them
We saw
because
it on the trailer. Like we saw that there was the electric terrain,
yes,
and
we
before
we,
the
we
Mega
saw
there
it,
was not. Yeah, so
but we can't be
probably it's the ability.
100% sure, right?
We
So
cannot be 100% sure.
So that's why, like, it kind of depends on the Mega ability. Now, if it sets electric terrain, I would argue it goes straight to, this category, like S or high A. Do you agree with that? Or
I agree with that as long as Tapu Koko is not part of the decks.
yes, of course, of course. But so
Yeah,
for now, it kind of depends on
yeah,
the
it
Mega
depends.
ability because,
Exactly.
a lot of things can change. Then we have Arcanine. Now, I think Arcanine is just solid. It's like it has Intimidate. People who haven't played VGC yet, Intimidate is one of the best abilities in the game. Just by having
I agree.
Intimidate, you're already going to be, quite a bit stronger. Now, it also depends on how many Megas we have access to. If they announce something like, oh, the only Megas that will be legal will be like the slightly weaker ones. We can't just blow people up yet with Mega Zygarde or Mega, I guess, Kangaskhan again. Then maybe he gets a little bit better, but I assume that this mon won't be too strong. Like it won't be like an S tier type of Incineroar kind of guy if the Megas we have access to are strong ones, right?
Okay, so I have a take about Arcanine.
Okay.
It might be better than Incineroar in the earliest phase of Champ. I tell you why.
Oh no.
Both Mega Metagross and Kangaskhan are slower than Arcanine if they are not jolly. And even if Kangaskhan it is jolly, it's in speed tie with max speed Arcanine. So what I see is a moment where people will not rely too much on speed ties because it's not like it's the first time you play the Pokemon, and Mega Metagross has an insane stat in attack. So probably a lot of people, especially the new ones, will want to exploit, the attack of Mega Metagross. And same for Kangaskhan, which becomes very threatening with the scrappy slash inner focus, which makes it immune to intimidate at the beginning of the match, which was not possible at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Kangaskhan was very strong already, so make your conclusions. But Jolly Arcanine might force people to play faster versions of this Pokemon, which means not Adamant. At the beginning of the meta, it might be strong to clutch the Adamant, Metagross, and Kangaskhan with not just Intimidate, but Will-O-Wisp especially. Because
Right,
right
yeah,
now,
because a fast Will-O-Wisp, you instantly
yeah,
halve their attack. For people who don't know, burn halves the attack.
yeah,
Um,
it has the damage of the physical move.
yes, yes.
So what I see is Arcanine as a sort of tool of support
Mm-hmm.
for the earliest phases of champions. Then people will figure out, everybody will play Jolly Metagross, and Incineroar will get back to a more strong position. But
This is
for
so
the beginning,
classic.
yeah, for now, I would say that Arcanine might even become a little better than Incineroar at the earliest phases. It's just a take, of course.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I remember early Regulation H, people were like, yeah, Incin isn't this good this format. Like, every time at the start, people go like, oh, maybe Incin isn't that... And then it turns out, okay, we've solved it. Incin is the best. Let's go.
Yeah, at least I give it. I gave like an explanation of
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Sometimes
absolutely. No,
people
I can
just
see it.
vibes, but
Mhm.
yeah.
No, I totally understand. So then we have Victory Bell. This is gonna be another one of those, like, the mega ability might change everything. But can it change everything? Like, I feel like this Mon is so flawed that even if its ability is good, it won't necessarily be crazy. But I don't want to say that, of course, because, like, they could give it any ability. Wonder Guard.
So if the Mega still has chlorophyll,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk about it, because it has a very good amount of stats, and
Mm-hmm.
much better than Victory Bill. And it might be interesting because one of the downsides of Mega Venusaur is that, yeah, Tickfat is insane in terms of defensive potential, but you want to be fast in the sun most
Yeah.
of the times with Venusaur. If there is a sort of Venusaur that even with the Mega Evolution keeps the advantage of Chlorophyll, it's not bad. What I am afraid the most is that even if it is the case, one of the strongest Sunsetter will be Mega Charizard Y,
Mm-hmm.
which locks the Mega Evolution, so you cannot Mega Evolve Beedrill. Victory, sorry. Talking about bad mons, you confuse the names. So probably the pair will be standard Venusaur with Mega Charizard Y if you want to use the Chlorophyll.
Right, and then yeah, you're forced to choose. Okay, yeah. I mean, it'll depend. I guess we'll put it in depend for now. Next, we have one of the bigger threats. I would like to say. I've heard so much about it. Shadow Tag as an ability together with Perish Song, which means you can Perish Trap with one Mon. Also, just insane stats like insane speed. This is basically old Flutter main, I almost want to say. Where would you put this? I am guessing it's here, but maybe you have a different take.
I'm afraid it's not. I'm afraid because I really like Mega Gengar,
Mm-hmm.
but there is Dragapult.
Oh, right. Dragapult.
Gengar had at the time one of the highest speed, which was and still is 200
Mm-hmm.
with the max speed. 200 right now is not too fast anymore. Like it's still fast, but there are some threats for Mega Gengar, which are Dragapult, which are Scarf Basculegion, which might be Absol. That I
Mm-hmm.
assume it will be there, but for now we didn't see it. We assume that will be there. So definitely Gengar A because it's still a strong Pokemon.
Yeah,
But
it can also be
if
like your backup Mega, right? Like if you notice,
it
okay,
can be a
what are
backup
the
Mega.
what
Yep.
are my Gengar threats? There aren't any. Lol, let's go, right? Like.
I see it very good with Mega Kangaskhan because it's immune to Ghost.
Mm-hmm.
It's very good against Absol because it's a very frail Pokemon, and if you kind of have the right situation, the double sucker punch, the double sucker punch of Mega Kangaskhan with Parental Bone can kill Absol even. So we are advancing fast. Yeah.
We're putting the boy right in S.
Spoiler.
Okay, so for people who don't know, who've never seen this before, like this Mega, assuming everything stays the same again, it's all assumptions.
Yeah.
Um, it does every move twice, but a bit weaker, right? So it's like
Yeah,
you get
the
a
second it is 25%. It used to be 50, by the
yeah.
way, but
So
now
it's
it's
like the
25.
baby attacking as well. But of
Yeah.
course, some moves have effects. So there's Power Up Punch. We don't know if
Power
that comes to
Punch
champions.
was removed back then.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, in Pokemon ZA, it learns it again. I don't
Oh.
know if it is a sign or if it's just for ZA.
Mm-hmm.
What I do know is that with the what Kangaskhan lost with the nerf of parental bond and power up punch removed, it gained back with being immune at the intimidate against intimidate before to mega evolve, which is
Yeah.
crazy because turn one that Mega Kangaskhan will not be intimidated because even if it is in not the lead, intimidate, and they switch in, the Mega Evolution comes after, so
Yeah.
you're still immune to intimidate, which is crazy. And if they give it back, like if they give power punch, power up punch back to Kangaskhan, my lord,
Yeah.
my
It's
lord, it's S tier already,
oh my god.
just
I
like
am not
this.
looking forward to that. Then we have Starmie, and now we don't know the ability technically, but a lot of people are talking about it being huge power because of seeing like certain differences in attack and not getting the same amount of base stats as others. I don't know, how much of that is true. But so assuming it's huge power, is that even enough? Does it learn Aqua Jet? I don't even. Wait, no, it's a special attacker. Hmm. Wait, does it learn
Yeah,
Aqua Jet?
it becomes a physical attacker
Right.
when it
Okay.
mega
So
evolves.
it doesn't learn Aqua Jet though. So for people who don't know, huge power basically makes your attack ridiculous. Even if your stats are awful, it still becomes ridiculous. We can see that this in Azumarill, which is a mon that Alessio has brought to Worlds even. And its stats, if you look at it, Azumarill stats are awful, but then huge power just balloons it. But Starmie's
Yep.
attack in Mega isn't bad, so if you add huge power on top, it's crazy. However, it needs to be fast enough to land hits, right? And I mean, I guess it is. It is
Starmie is
quite
fast by
fast.
default. I remember, if I remember correctly, Mega Starmie is fast as well.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a good Pokemon. My biggest concern is that right now we have much more Mega Evolutions than before.
Yeah.
At the time we had like 30 something. Right now there are more than 90, if I don't remember wrong.
Okay.
So it will be more likely than ever to play two Mega Evolutions in the team and
Yeah.
pick the one that you need accordingly to the matchup. Starmie, if he doesn't Mega Evolve,
Is bad.
it's useless. Yeah, because you played, with 252 in attack, maybe, or 252 in speed, or whatever. So if you have a Starmie like that, if you don't Mega Evolve Starmie, or you cannot Mega Evolve Starmie for some reason, you have one less Pokemon in your team. So
Right.
if you
So
want
we're looking
Mega,
for megas. Sorry, we're looking for megas
Mhm.
that are good in their base form or usable in their base form, so that when you pick your other mega, you still have a usable mon. Like Gyarados,
It's
for
a plus.
example.
It's a plus. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a plus to have a Mega Evolution that is strong, even if it doesn't Mega. Like Kangaskhan with Scrappy can do something. Like there is Mega
Fake
Gengar
out.
there, fake out,
Yeah.
and
Okay.
it works.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and 252 Adama Kangaskhan is a good Pokemon offensively. Like, it's decent.
Okay.
Starmie is really useless. So I will say B
Okay.
because
Assuming it
even
gets huge power, of course. If it doesn't, then it's
it's
maybe.
kind of 99%
Yeah.
because the stats are strange in ZA, and that is the same kind of strange of Mega Man Wild, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 99%. If it doesn't have huge power, consider it as a C.
Okay.
For you people of the future that already know what are the
Yes.
abilities.
So then we have a Pinsir, and as far as I'm aware, Mega Pinsir isn't crazy.
Now it's bad.
Yeah, so it goes straight
C.
into
C.
C,
Yeah.
sadly.
Yeah.
Then we have my boy Gyarados, my goat. Tell me, Gyarados does a lot of things. I mean, and with a lot, I mean it has Intimidate. It has Intimidate. It can Thunder Wave. It can Taunt. So it is like supportive. Waterfall. You can kind of fish for flinches. Like Waterfall together with Thunder Wave. If you don't want to think too much and you just want to get lucky, that's something cool. But even without that, in lower power formats, we've seen Gyarados be an okay support. An Intimidator alongside with Arcanine when Incineroar was not in the decks, for example.
Yeah.
So, but the problem is the Gyarados doesn't have the fast Will-O-Wisp. So, how much worse does that make it, or are there other things Gyarados can do in your mind?
I am afraid we are talking about a B pick for a, a specific reason.
Okay.
Right now, the amount of Mega Evolutions that are worth of a try are increased significantly.
Mm-hmm.
And Gyarados was not that much good even before. It's been good at Worlds 2014 when the pool of Mega Evolutions was the smallest
Mm-hmm.
ever. And let's face it, yeah, it was there. But do you really remember the Sejun Park team for Gyarados?
Yes.
The
I don't know
star of the
any
team
other mon
was,
on that team.
yeah, you literally remember any other Pokemon of that team. The biggest example of that is that when we had Pokemon Scarlet and Violet for the first time, a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people, Sejun included, tried to replicate the very same team with Gyarados, with like the Terraflying and I believe Life Orb or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the team was the same, and it worked anyway. So when a Mega Evolution team works anyway, even without the Mega, yeah, probably there is not that much of a need of the
Mm-hmm.
Mega Evolution. So I will say B tier because it was not great back then, It's still a great Pokemon in terms of offensiveness, but you have better options for your Mega.
Yes. But at
So
least like when you don't mega it, you still have a useful support mon, right? Which
yeah,
is
yeah, it's a
something.
more than decent Intimidator.
Mhm.
And he has the plus of the Mega. It's the kind of Mega that, as we discussed before, that you don't want to Mega Evolve Gyarados this time. It's still a nice Pokemon.
Mhm. All right. So next we have Tauros, and we saw this in like the Poke Ranch thing, and that's why it was technically in the trailer. Now it also learns Intimidate. Um,
See,
right? It's or is it
see.
only the water and fire? It does have Intimidate, right?
Yeah, like I don't believe that. Yeah, it does Intimidate. I don't remember right now if it does.
Yeah.
If it
This
does
shows
have
you
it.
how good the mon is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it has
it's
Intimidate.
never been used, the base one.
Yeah,
But yeah, C tier. It can also have, geomancy included, but it's a very bad Pokemon anyway.
very sad. Then we have
Yep.
Snorlax. We spoke a little bit about Thick Fat earlier on Venusaur. Now, Thick Fat is a better ability on Venusaur because obviously, like it works better with the grass type.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
Snorlax also has Belly Drum, to get set up, but I guess that was good in Generation One. I don't know how.
Actually, a little of history of VGC history here was crazy strong in Gen 7.
Yeah,
On the
Dynamax,
first,
right?
the first four, no, Sun and Moon.
Oh, oh,
The
before that.
first format of Gen 7 in Sun and Moon, VGC 17,
Mm-hmm.
Snorlax was like S tier or A tier at worst. Was very,
Okay.
very, 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 very strong. And it won
So
words on VGC 18 as well, even if it was not its format anymore.
wait, 2018 was that when Paul Ruiz won?
Yeah, it was the over teammate for
Yes,
Ruiz. Yeah,
yes. Oh,
definitely.
maybe important to know. Alessio is co-captain of the Pokemon
Yeah.
Team Capital Underdogs. Also has Paul Ruiz, the world champion, on there. So Paul Ruiz actually had Snorlax on his team. I actually didn't know. That's crazy. I should do my history.
Yeah, you should because you are the other captain. you US, so you might know it. But
Oops.
oops. But jokes aside, yeah, a lot of people always forget about the Snorlax in the Polwitz team because yeah, Mega Salamence, whatever, in Sinner
Yeah.
or with the Snatch, there was Snorlax there. So
Okay.
it's
Do you
one of
think that
the
will still be there, or do you
nah,
think
nah,
it's
nah, 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 nah. B, B, B.
B?
I believe
Okay.
it's B. Yeah.
Very sad. So then
For
we have
now,
my goat.
assuming that.
Yeah, yeah. Then we have my goat though, and so Dragonite, Dragon. Okay, I call him my goat because I loved playing him in Scarlet and Violet, but I fear he's kind of a fraudulent goat. In the sense that he has two incredible abilities, right? We have inner focus, so you're immune to intimidate, immune to fake out, and multi scale, which is one of the best abilities defensively ever. The first move
Yeah.
barely hitting you is just such a big deal. It's like you're having a better focus sash built in. It is incredible. However, its typing is ass. Like dragon flying, I hate playing with dragon flying. It feels so bad. And it was fixed by terrestrialization. You could get rid of your awful typing. And now, don't get me wrong, dragon flying isn't like the worst thing ever, but it's not great. And there's other dragon
I
flyings.
agree.
There's Salamence, Rayquaza, I guess.
Yeah,
So
Rayquaza will be there at some point, I guess.
yes, at some point exactly. But so if you have to choose between Salamence and Dragonite, the Mega is going to change a lot. But I think the fact that you can't Terra out of Dragon Flying and you're competing with Salamence on that type axis, I think that is going to make Dragonite much less good than it was in Scarlet and Violet. Like, I think in Scarlet and Violet, it's like here, and depending on the format, sometimes even here, like Regage, but like, let's say it's here. But I think now I mean, it depends on the mega ability, but without the mega ability, I would put this mon probably like somewhere
I
here.
believe that it's the only Mega that has the ability revealed. I might be mistaken,
No, we
but
don't have it.
we don't have it. Okay, because at some point it seemed like that it will be Gale Wings, which might change a little bit the situation. Truth
Mm-hmm.
is, only if you play Mega Dragonite with a special attack version with Rain, maybe. So you have this priority Hurricane, let's
Mm-hmm.
say, but it's a very limited way to exploit the ability. However, yeah, if it does something better than that, like for example, air relate like Salamence. With air relate is A tier because extreme speed flying typing with a boost in a base power will be huge
Yes,
with
that
that
I mean
stat.
that obviously if it's as Arrelate with extreme speed, okay, GG, well played. It's been nice knowing you.
Yeah.
I'm playing Dragon Knight the whole time, but I don't think they're gonna give it because like that's just making Salamence 2, right? Like that feels unlikely. But
Yeah,
we'll
like
see. We'll see.
Salamence already has air relate,
Yeah.
and
So.
air relate is a kind of build that it was very cool when Salamence has had the return, which
Hmm.
is a move that doesn't exist anymore, and with double edge as well, of course, which still learns. For now, we assume they didn't touch the moveset.
Hmm.
So yeah, if Salamence has to air relate, what a difficult name to say, and Dragonet has not. Yeah, it's kind of bad, but not too much. I would say D. Yeah, definitely depends on the Mega Man.
Yeah. Sadly. Then we have Meganium. I mean, without the Mega, this mon was just ass, right? But because the
Yeah,
Mega, we don't know the ability, right? No, because it's a new
with the
one.
Mega, it's even more ass because a Grass Fairy.
Is
But
Grass
it
Fairy
depends
that
on the
bad? I
ability.
mean, the fairy type is just hot in general, no? Like, I know you're weak to poison, like, times 4, but.
No, like it's a combination of typings with a lot of weaknesses. But
Mhm.
the good part of Fairy Grass is that it was about mostly Whimsicott, and when we added Tapu Bulu, but in the moment when we add the Rillaboom, which was named Tapurilla
Yeah.
by the fossils, Tapu Bulu completely disappeared, and yeah, probably Meganium. If Meganium has Triage, which is one of the leaks, Meganium becomes very strong because
Yeah,
of
of course.
Giga Drain, priority with that special attack. It's not bad,
Mhm.
but I would say yeah D because it depends on the Mega ability, but most likely C. I will be surprised if it's better than that.
Sad. Then we have Feraligatr. Now, this mon, I already have some takes on. I think its Mega is kind of doomed to fail. And my reasoning is that when I look at Feraligatr, well, first of all, regular Feraligatr just isn't that good. But then
Yeah,
what would make him playable is the combination, Sheer Force Life Orb, that kind of stuff like we see on Landorus. The problem is if you Mega, you don't have Life Orb anymore. So
I would say yeah C directly.
yeah, so like you look at its stats improvement, but the stat improvement isn't as good as Sheer Force Life Orb. So while it's possible that the ability is Wonder Guard, like it's something completely broken,
Good as gold.
yeah, if they make the ability completely broken, sure we can talk, but like the ability needs to do some real heavy lifting. Even though the stats are looking good, I don't know. Like it's already not a great mon, and then when you try to fix it with the ability, you're already taking away like the one thing it does have. I don't know. It's looking
Yeah, I
shaky.
agree.
So then we have Azumarill. You probably have some takes
S
because you
tier.
took this to
Yeah,
Worlds.
S tier. No, okay. The reason why Azumarill was strong in reggae, and I know that words went bad, but the victory road at the side event didn't, so it was just a bad day. Okay, this
Okay,
is
okay.
the
So
canon
for
version
the
of the
people who
story.
don't know this, we need a lore, right? So basically, you enter Worlds with Azumarill after testing a
Yeah.
bit with me, and like it was good. Okay, I know everyone will cope. They will say, "Oh, you just beat up this guy. It's skill diff."
No,
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 no, no.
I
Like
made the cut on a victory road tournament before Worlds.
exactly. That's the important
Yeah.
part. Like the after Worlds, you had another event. Was it like a Switch
Yeah,
Cup
win
or
a
whatever?
Switch 2 event. It was the side event
Yeah,
of
like the
Worlds,
side event for
basically.
Worlds, but even though it's just a side event, it's at Worlds. All the players are crazy. And Azumarill there popped
We're
off.
very good level, yeah.
Yes. So like it was actually a good pick. It countered the Koraidon issue that the Terrapagos normally has, right?
Yeah, it was because it was with the Assault Vest, so it was very strong against Fluttermane, Shiyu, Chenpao, Shifu, Koraidon, you name it, you have it. So it was a sort of big against Incineroar, of course. And if I had the Trick Room, it was so strong even against Miraidon, and Miraidon without the terrain had not the one is KO guaranteed on Azumarill. Azumarill had it, and I can remove the terrain with Travagos. So it was the specific combination of Azumarill and Travagos that was good. But I don't see Travagos right now, and
Yeah.
definitely I don't see all the Pokemon that were beat up by Azumarill at the time. So I would say C, because Azumarill without a specific moment of the meta is not a great Pokemon.
Yes,
It's
sad. I'll
very,
put
very
it above
specific.
Beedrill though. Next we have Ampharos. Now, Ampharos Mega is beautiful, but I'm guessing it's not crazy good.
It says.
Yeah, that's what I was fearing, but I was trying to be nice.
I'm just I'm here to not make you waste time, like
Exactly. Next we
Alpharos is
have
definitely yes.
Scizor. Um, I
Mm,
I
mm,
think base Scizor
mm.
is not. I mean, he's cool, but I don't think he's like amazing. He's just like good. But Mega Scizor, does that change anything?
Is literally Caesar with better stats because it has the same ability, the same typing, same everything. It's just a little stronger in attack.
So is
So
it
a lot of
solid?
times people just prefer to have metal coat and basic Caesar.
Oh, so C.
Yeah, I believe so because Charizard Y will and fire types because of Metagross will be something. So
Sad. Then we have Steelix. I think this one is bad, right? Or
I agree.
okay, okay. I'm afraid to say things here when I'm not sure. I just like look at stats. I look at moves. I'm like, ah.
We are about to make a disaster. Like a lot of Pokemon will be true at sea.
Yeah, I know.
Um,
A lot of people are not going to be happy to see their favorites. But again, like this is important to know also, like if your favorite is in C, um, it might just, it's just competitive, like it can still be an awesome Pokemon like Dragonite. If his ability isn't good, he's probably not very high either, but it is what it is. Then we have
yeah.
Heracross.
Before to go with
Oh,
Heracross, just one note.
mhm.
If your favorite is in C, you might find the right spot of the meta to use it anyway. I won more than $1,000 with Mega Blaziken. So and it was far from being A tier,
Yes,
so
yes. Yeah, this is important. Again, like if a certain mon ends up being super centralizing, let's say it's Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan is
yeah.
like the best mon ever or whatever. Even if your favorite mon isn't that great, if it just so happens to be fighting type, like it's already getting a little bit better. And there's other examples like that. Like the meta is not a vacuum. Some mons that are not
Yep,
great are somehow super good in a specific spot. Um,
exactly. That's
so
what is
Herac,
great about Pokemon, definitely.
yes,
So
Heracross I
Heracross,
think has the
C.
similar issue. Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
no,
I was gonna
okay,
say
no, go
like
ahead,
the
go ahead.
Feraligatr issue, right? Because like Guts Flame Orb is like interesting, but you lose it when you go Mega, and so you kind of lose out on something that made you.
So there is a little difference in Heracross. With the Mega Evolution that already exists, I'm a little more,
Mhm,
talking because it's something that it's a movie that I already watched.
mhm,
Heracross has Skill Link when it Mega Evolves.
mhm.
And Heracross learns Pin Missile, Bullet Seed, and I don't remember what is the English name of the rock one, but the rock move that is as like the same of Pin Missile and Bullet Seed.
Yeah,
Uh,
hitting multiple times. Rock, whatever.
yeah, I don't remember the name right now, but very, very, very bad shame on me because of that. But definitely something that helped Mega Heracross to be a little relevant in the earliest meta games of the with the Mega Evolutions, but with all the new ones, I believe it's C.
Mhm.
It's not even close.
Okay. Next we have the big pimp daddy Tyranitar. I'm thinking maybe this is copium, but I'm thinking it is bottom of A or top of B. And I understand without Terra he can't get rid of his pretty shit typing. But if Charizard Y ends up setting a lot of weather, I feel like having sand to counter sun is pretty cool. And then also, it also has a mega. So like I'm saying like out of mega it has uses, and in mega it has uses. Do you think it should be elsewhere or?
I totally agree with A.
Okay,
Totally.
cool.
Because if you look at what the field will be, Mega
Mm-hmm.
Tyranitar is super effective on Metagross, Gengar, Charizard. Yeah, it can take low kick from Kangaskhan, which is a problem, and it's weak to Metagross. On the other way around, it depends on the trick room. It depends on a lot of stuff. But Tyranitar can be a threat to a lot of meta Pokemon. A lot. Starmie included, for example. Gyarados included. A lot of Pokemon suffer in Mega format, Mega Tyranitar. Plus, the Mega Evolution, of course, with the weather, uses the same logic of the speed. So if Charizard is most of the times like faster than Tyranitar, the sun sets and the sand sets right after. So it's the biggest counter of Charizard historically, both of the Charizards actually. And yeah, definitely A tier.
Cool.
Definitely.
Then we have Gardevoir. Now,
Mm.
what's your take?
I would say B because
Okay.
Pixelate is insane in the hands of Gardevoir. Yes, Hyper Voice is much better than Dazzling as an offensive move. He has Trick Room as well. Mega Gardevoir is historically a great Pokemon. So B,
Okay.
I'll be.
Then we have Milotic. Now, Milotic has competitive, which is basically like making all the intimidates afraid. But beyond that, it doesn't really have that much. Scald is no longer as good as it used to be. So I'm guessing it's top of C, bottom B, maybe, or
Can I tell a joke about it?
Yes.
Competitive is the only thing that, like, the ability is the only thing that is competitive in Melodic.
Oh, my baby girl. She's so cool, though. Okay, so do you want to put her in C? Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put her above Azumarill just for you. Uh, then
I
we
don't want
have
to be featured in this
Metagross.
video anymore. Okay, yeah.
Damn. I'm guessing this one
Yeah,
goes,
yeah.
yeah, straight
It's
in S. Now, what's
strong.
the reason, for people who have never played with this before?
So at the beginning of the the Mega Evolution meta games, Metagross was kind of ass because it didn't learn Stomping Tantrum at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a very powerful tool that it now has and didn't have before. And Stomping Tantrum is boosted by Tough Claw for some reason. Like the animation in game doesn't make it very clear, but it's boosted by Tough Claw. So it's much better than Earthquake double target. Usually, Stomping Tantrum is basically Earthquake double target damage, but only one target. Stomping Tantrum is better than that with Tough Claw. So having that on a still psychic Pokemon is one of those cases where if a strong Pokemon can counter itself, it's even stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to look around for answers for it. Mega Metagross can counter Mega Metagross. So
So, do you think it's
S
better
tier.
than Kangaskhan, or
It depends on Power Up Punch.
okay?
If Power Up Punch is there, Kangaskhan is better. If it's not, Metagross is better.
All right.
For
Then
those
we
of
have.
you that might be like, "Oh, are you sure that it's so strong?" Look at the stats and then you tell me.
I'm guessing you want to put Altaria low because the only
Yep,
competitive thing is its ability. I'll put it next to Milotic for that reason.
it's a very bad Pokemon.
Very sad. Manic Trick.
Speaking of bad Pokemon, no, Manectric has Intimidate when in Mega Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
It's a factor. Like having Ball Switch being very fast, it has Snarl. It's a very good disabler, let's say. So I will say B at least because you can have like some use for it. A biggest downside compared with BGC 18, it doesn't learn Hidden Power Ice anymore. So
Mm-hmm.
it's
So you
a
don't have free coverage. For people who don't know,
yeah.
Hidden Power used to be this move that could have any type depending on your IV. setup basically, and so you could go like, oh, this Pokemon is very weak into X, but I can give it hidden power, fire, or fairy, not fairy, but hidden power
It's
something.
it's an old version of Terra Blast,
Yeah, exactly, but better
basically.
because you don't have to Terra for it, so
Yeah, but with 60 base power, so you know,
it's
and without
fine.
the stab. Um,
Jet Punch has 60 base power.
no, like if you use a Terra Blast of a typing that is not
Yeah, I
normal,
know
I'm
it's
assuming that you
80.
are terrestrializing that typing, so it's 120.
Oh, in that
Hidden
way,
power
yeah,
was just
okay.
60. Yep.
Yeah, true. Absol.
A, I believe,
Oh. Oh,
because
because
it's
it counters
very
Metagross
fast
and
and very
Gengar?
strong.
Mm-hmm.
Counters Gengar, counters Dragapult, which counters Gengar and counters Metagross. Counters Metagross as well. Potentially counters Calyrex Shadow Rider when we will have it because it's 1 point faster. But it's
Yes.
very, very frail. So it's not A just because of that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a glass cannon. Then we have Aggron. I'm guessing it goes here.
Yeah, you guessed right.
I've done a little
With the
homework on some of the bad megas.
I'm proud of you. Like Aggron with the Mega becomes a pure steel and gains filter, so defensively it's very very strong. And with Body Press, it might become very very cool. I just don't see it like with Mega Charizard Y, Gengar. Uh, I don't know. There are too many stuff that if you want to play a tank, I would say B just because of Body Press. I assume we will keep it,
Hmm.
but like it's at the bottom of the beat, in
Yeah,
my
because
opinion.
you do have to mega it, right? Like it's
Yeah, you're
otherwise it's
committing your Mega for something you can do with Registeel, basically.
yeah. I mean, I don't want to put Registeel on my team, but
Yeah,
then we
yeah.
have Empoleon. Speaking of competitive, I'm
Speaking
get. I
of
mean,
the
it's
ability that is the only thing competitive.
yeah. Basically, it's just a better Milotic maybe, or a worse Milotic if you ask some people.
So at the time, Empoleon had Defiant instead of competitive in the
Mm-hmm.
like past formats with the Mega Evolutions, which was much worse for Empoleon. And with competitive, now it's much better. It can be annoying for some Pokemon, but it really depends on the meta. It's very specific. It's like an Azumarill. So yeah, same tier, I would say.
Okay. Lucario, its new Mega does look very spooky, but it would depend on ability, I guess. Or do you think even without the ability, this is gonna be like here?
I believe that with the Z Mega Evolution, based on the stats, I will not put it any lower than than A.
Right. It's kind of like Absol in a way, right? It's like a very fast,
Yeah, it's the
relatively
other half. It's
frail.
like a yin and yang. I agree.
Yes. Okay, so we'll put it there for now, but like, I guess it still depends on ability, right? Again, it could get Wonder Guard for all we know.
The fact that even ability less is there for the stats and the coverage, it speaks volume of how good it might be with a good
Yes.
ability. It might be S tier.
Yes. I mean,
Same
it's the
for Absol.
Zamazenta typing, right? Like, it's it.
Exactly. Same for Absol. Like if Absol gets sharpness, it's S tier. Like
Yes.
for sure.
So despite us not really knowing, we're already putting these so high because the Mega ability doesn't need to carry them. It would just be even better.
Yeah, it might be even better than that. Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
So now we have
Very hard to
Garchomp.
be the worst.
Now,
Yeah,
Garchomp's Mega was good, and now it gets another one where we don't know. So, is
I
this
would
crazy, or would you
say
put it here?
that Garchomp is B tier because it's very strong against a lot of Pokemon, against Mega Charizard Y, against Gengar, against Tyranitar,
Mm-hmm.
against Metagross as well. You might say, so why not A? Because it's a dragon in a world of fairies. So it's 4 time weak against ice. I don't trust to put it higher than B for now. Consider
Yes.
it that we have a Mega Evolution that is pure dragon, so it loses the coverage of the ground, it loses the weaknesses of the ground, but I would prefer base Garchomp.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's so strong that you can play Garchomp and a Mega.
Yeah. Oh, that's also important though. You can literally play like Garchomp with Sandvale with Tyranitar, and then you don't have to
It
mega
was a
either of them.
combination that existed for a long time. Yeah.
Then we have Frostlass. This, I guess, depends on the ability a lot, but even then it's likely in C, right?
The ability can put it on B.
Okay.
Let's see. But yeah, it's more likely C because of Gengar, because of Tyranitar, because of Charizard, blah, blah, blah. Now that we have a sort of bigger picture of the situation, we can better understand why certain mons are not that much good because of, the typing and what is strong already.
Our little cutie Leafeon, I'm afraid, is just a Cmon, and there's nothing it can do about it.
Yeah, I agree. Same for
Serperior has
Superior.
one trick and one trick only, so I'm guessing it goes somewhere here.
Yeah, I agree.
Just its contrary spam. For people who don't know, the ability contrary makes so your stat drops become stat boosts, and so Leaf Storm makes your stat drop. So you can spam Leaf Storm and become like overpowered, but the problem is you're frail, you can miss, and you don't have anything else to do. So that's why it's kind of just a cheesy mon, right?
I agree.
Then
I
we have
agree totally.
Embor, which depends on the mega ability.
I agree. I agree near as well because firefighting is a great typing like in these formats because of look at what are the strongest mons right now.
Yep,
Like
Kangaskhan, Metagross, you bob them
Tyranitar,
both.
Gengar
Absol
is very frail
Lucario.
physically. So,
Mm-hmm.
for example, when I played Mega Blaziken, I always said Mega Blaziken counters Gengar, but not because of the typing, because Flare Blitz was one hit KO.
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that, like, for example, Mega Blazing was, and same goes for Emboar, depends on the ability, but potentially, it was a counter of Mega Charizard because Mega Charizard was not played with the flying moves at the time. It was a double fire move because it was overhit, Heat Wave, Solar Beam, Protect, or Heat Wave, Solar Beam, Tailwind, Protect, because he had Tailwind at the time. So, and Blaziken was played with Rock Slide. So it was a
Yeah.
counter effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Emboar doesn't have, I don't believe it will have a speed boost, but it can be a very strong Pokemon because of the timing. But it depends on the ability.
Yep. Hisuian Samurott is like Water Dark is a good type in my opinion. It is already a pretty good
B.
mon, you know.
Mhm.
I'm guessing somewhere in B.
Somewhere in B is fair because it learns Sacred Sword. So if you look at most of the Pokemon up there, it checks a lot of them.
Yeah, it has Dark for Metagross. It has Water for the entire A tier. It has it has Dark for Gengar. It has Sacred Sword for Tyranitar. Yeah, it has a lot of good things going for it.
And
Then
Sacred
we
Sword
have
is good against Kangaskhan as well.
right. Conkeldurr, our Guts Flame Orb. Maybe I should explain this because I've mentioned it before, but for people who don't know, basically, Guts is an ability that makes you stronger when you're burned, and Flame Orb is an item that burns you. And so there's quite a few mons that are super powerful by combining these two. So you have Hisui Ursaluna, Heracross, which is not that good, and then Conkeldurr, which is the weaker version of Hisui and Ursaluna, basically doing that.
Just a little note. It's not just if you're burned, even if you're poisoned or paralyzed.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, usually you're gonna be
Usually you
burned,
use
but
it with the
yes,
flame orb, of course.
yes, exactly. And so it's another cool thing about that is you can't get statused otherwise. You can't get slept. You can't get parad. You're basically very annoying to deal with. It's almost like you're good as gold, but a bit worse. um,
Uh,
yeah, a
funny
bit.
enough,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Funny enough, now that I see the bigger picture a little better, probably Azumarill is B tier.
Okay.
But
I'll push a
probably,
Zoomeril.
bro, not yet, but like it's in the middle. I will put it on the bottom of B probably because it starts to check a lot of stuff.
Okay. I'll put it on bottom here. Where would you put Conkeldurr though?
I would say B is mm, decent because it checks a lot of stuff if there is trick room.
Okay.
Like I would see it a lot like It will be very good with the Mega Gardevoir in Garderoom. It can be
Oh,
one of
interesting.
the sweepers of Garderoom. So
Okay.
they fit very well together.
I'll put them together then.
Yeah.
Then we have Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott is a support mon. So it's not going to be like, oh, it's carrying the team like Mega Kangaskhan or whatever, but it is the strongest or second strongest Tailwind setter, I guess if you compare it to like something like Tornadus. So I'm guessing it has to be somewhere in A, right?
Yeah, I will put it there because you can do very bad stuff with it, like fake tears and under the sun 8-12 Omega Charizard Y. There is Tailwind, there is Anchor. It often be played with Gengar, because Anchor and Taunt of Gengar and Whimsicott, for example, you're trapped and you cannot do anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
For example, so I would say that it's a very solid pair. I would almost put in together on the tier list as
Would
we
you
said
almost put it in
as we
S
did
though?
with
Because I
Phantom.
feel like we haven't really seen any supports yet anywhere, and I feel like Whimsicott is definitely like a top tier support. Or do you think that like it doesn't warp the meta around itself nearly as much as Kang and meta,
No,
so
no, no,
therefore it's
no.
A?
Yes, S tier will mean on the level of Kangaskhan and
All
Metagross.
right.
It's not there.
And so then we have Emolga, which is
Easy, yeah. Fru, which is no.
Furfru, same thing.
A dragon is bad with Mega Gardevoir and a lot of stuff. Now that Azumarill became B as well, it's very hard for a
Oh.
dragon.
But I think Hydreigon has a very interesting kit though, in the sense that it learns Snarl, it learns Tailwind, it learns Draco Meteor, it has Levitate. Like, while I agree it's definitely not on the top tier or anything near it, I do find that some metas it suddenly fills a niche very well. Like for example, if every team starts having something like Hisuian or Saluna, oh, but we don't have Terra Steel anymore. God damn it! I was
No,
thinking
yeah,
of Terra
exactly.
Stealing my boy, but you
You
can't.
are for now we don't have it. Of course, in the future
Mm-hmm.
we will have it, but for now, a dragon is very bad.
Sad. All right, we'll put you a bit lower. So then we have the 3 starters where we did see the abilities already in the trailer. So we start off with a bulletproof chestnut. What are we thinking here?
Since he got body press, he became decent, but
Mm-hmm.
only because he had the Terrastal.
Right.
So
There's a
without
flying
it,
weakness.
yep, and a lot of weaknesses that are very scary because of weak to fire, weak to flying, weak to fairy, to psychic. If you check what is above, basically no
Right.
chance in hell it can become competitive. So
Right. And
for
another thing
now, we
too is that
see.
like there was this set of like belly drum together with grassy glide, but the problem is we don't see any way to set grassy terrain yet, which means grassy
No,
glide isn't priority yet. So like you can't even, do a cheeky belly drum and just one shot your targets. You're straight up just
no,
so
but even
so
if it was the case, without the Terra, you were forced to play Rillaboom and Chestnut together, which was double grass without any
without
of the
Terra, yeah.
two. No, why B?
You want to go even lower?
Oh, yeah, sure, it sucks. So
But it's
bad.
the same tier as Emolga.
The level is that.
Oh.
At least the Molga is super effective on Gyarados. Can Chestnut say that?
Oh my god. Okay. Delphox. Okay, this one at least the stats look crazy. It's like a Flutter main with, it's not a Flutter main, but that type of stat line. Even though it gets Levitate, so it can't utilize Psychic Terrain that well, I'm assuming it's at least somewhere here, no?
So I would say B because the stats are very strong, but the mon itself, like the
Mm-hmm.
typing, it's okay, but it really depends. It's very good against Mega Metagross. It's very good against basically that, like Mega Metagross,
Yeah, I'm looking at the
then
other in
you're
the tier.
decent.
Uh,
Yeah, but I will say that it's fair to say that with a good ability, it might become A.
but we know the ability, it's Levitate.
It's okay. Was not an assumption.
No, we saw it in the trailer.
Okay. Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah, we know
Oh,
levitate, we know bulletproof,
oh.
and we know protean.
If the ability is levitate, it's very hard to define. Like I would say, way in the middle, with a sort of B plus. Let's put
Yes.
it on at the beginning of the BTR for now.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, levitate is huge.
Now we have Greninja, protean twice, but beyond that, is that fixing it? I feel it's actually water is quite good to have though. Looking at this, and dark is quite good to have. Maybe it's
I would say yeah, it's A because especially if we assume that Dalfox will be something,
mm-hmm.
Greninja counters it completely. So yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if
maybe it's
Delphix
A
will be
tier.
something, but everything else at least, like it looks very good into the top, into a lot of the top tier.
It's very good against Absol. It's very good against Charizard and Gengar. It's super effective on Tyranitar technically, but it will be very much about the final, spreads of both of them because of the Sunstorm that boosts the special defense. So
And
it's not
Assault
like
Fest
with,
maybe even.
yeah, with
I mean, if they
Muddy
don't
Water you
run the
can kill
Tyranitar
or
right.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
Assault Fest, if they don't run Tyranitar right, we don't know if that ends up being the case, but we can
Yeah,
assume.
yeah. Like if Tyranitar is played with the Assault Vest, even more so. But
Mm-hmm.
Mega Tyranitar is a sort of gigantic monster for those interactions, so it's very very strong defensively. So I will say, yeah, A tier because it's definitely good against a lot of stuff, especially the strongest ones.
Right. So then we have this Floette. We don't know what the ability is gonna be.
The definitely define on the ability.
Yep. Then we have
It might
Aegislash. Now,
become C as well as A. It's a
yeah,
sort of
exactly.
Pokemon of Schrödinger.
And another thing that kind of matters for Floette is if you remember, it's like its ability, like its good move in ZA is broken, right? If that move were added to
Yeah,
champions, it's insane. But if it doesn't have that, it's kind of like, what are we doing with this mon? So whether or not it gets the signature move from ZA will also change a lot.
the signature is crazy. The signature is the strongest fairy move ever. So
Yes.
definitely.
Aegislash, I have never played with this mon. I have, played through the games back then, so I know how the stance change works. I know people said it was like really good, but I've never experienced it. So where do you think this lands?
It was crazy strong at the time. It was a lot that like it depended a lot on the meta. Like
Mm-hmm.
I give you an example, okay? It was the meta of Mega Gardevoir, Cresselia, Kangaskhan, and all of these mons, especially against Cresselia, like Life Orb Aegislash was one of the few things that could be threatening to Cresselia. Because at the time, without the Z moves, without the Terrastal, without Oshivu, Single Strike, and these things, and Calyrex, there was it was a very hard time to deal with Cresselia,
Mm-hmm.
especially up until Gen 6. So Aegislash was one of the few tools, and it was strong against a lot of stuff. Right now, the situation changed drastically because, of course, there are a lot of new mods, and it kind of sucks against Absol. Now Mega Metagross can touch it, which was not able to do before. But now there is something Stomping Tantrum that is super effective. If Greninja becomes a thing, and I believe it will, it's countered by Greninja, it's countered by Charizard. It's not too comfortable against Gengar, depends a lot on the situation. Tyranitar is not too safe against Aegislash because Aegislash learns Sacred Sword. It can be played mixed, but the deciding factor in all of this is that it has been nerfed in Gen 8.
Mm-hmm.
So all considered B tier.
All right. Above or below Azumarill?
Above.
Uh,
Azumarill is there for the meme.
above Conkeldurr or below it?
No. It's like at the bottom of the B tier anyway. Maybe
Okay,
I
okay.
would say above, Manectric, but all the other Pokemon above Aegislash are rightfully above.
All right. Then we have Sylveon. Now it has the Pixelate ability, which is of course very good, but it doesn't have much else.
Especially when there is Gardevoir, you really
Hmm.
don't have too many reasons to play Sylveon.
Right. So would you say
But
like somewhere in C?
I see.
High C. Yeah. Okay. Above Milotic, but maybe on under the two like megas
Uh,
because.
to be completely fair, I will
Hmm.
say let's redefine a little bit the first pixel, like because when we picked Venusaur, we did it a lot about the Mega.
Hmm.
But to be fair, it might be a little something if Charizard Y becomes a thing.
Just as
So
a
we
fast
keep it
sleep powder,
there.
maybe.
Yeah, so we keep it there. Yeah, oh
Oh.
no, I see. Because
Hmm.
there is a lot of stuff that can be too annoying for Venusaur, and it doesn't actually counter anything above. Like yeah, Greninja maybe, but it's full of stuff that can be annoying for Venusaur. And I would say Blastoise much below than I see like bottoms like that. It's very bad. Yeah, something like yeah, at least below a dragon. I believe it's fair.
Hmm. So then we have Howlucha.
It's a new mega.
Yes. So it depends on the mega ability, I guess,
I
because
believe so.
like without its mega, this mon is just somewhere in C, not very high. Um, a worse version of acrobatic Sneasler. It has
Yeah,
Mold Breaker, which is a good
unironically.
ability, but it doesn't really have the stats to back it up. But maybe the mega changes everything. Then we have
Yep.
Klefki, which I believe is a mon you really like.
Why you believe that?
It reminds me of Comfy. Because it moves fast and
uh,
it's a fairy and it's frail otherwise.
nah, like Klefki is a nice meme,
Hmm.
but it's nothing more than that. I would say C, honestly.
Oh, really? I
Yeah,
I
because
always like it's
there is a
hard for
better screen
me.
setter there that will be BTR. So
Yes, yes, that's true. But like in my
oh,
mind, Klefki
oh
often
no.
has like something to do because it can set like priority misty terrain. It can, maybe I'm coping, but I always feel like,
Yeah, you are coping a bit, but
damn.
so if there was not Mr. Grimm back down there,
Right.
I would have said B tier because of the screens.
Mm-hmm.
There is the better version of Comfy that
Yeah.
is also strong with Sucker Punch. If you want to use it, then why not?
Yeah, I mean,
On
Grim can learn a
Gengar,
lot of things.
on a lot of
Fake
stuff.
out parting shot. We will get to him soon. Then we have Noivern. Noivern is kind of just like this is like a draft mon, right? Like it can do a lot of things, but it's not excelling at any of them.
It's a draft mon in a sense that you use it at the draft leagues when
Yeah,
you
that's what
have
I mean. Yeah, you use it
when
in
you
draft
run out
leagues.
of credits. Yeah.
It doesn't cost a lot of points. So somewhere in C,
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
guessing.
Yeah, somewhere in C. Pick the spot is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna put it
Whatever.
here. It still
Yeah.
has too many like moves. Because honestly, like we don't have that many supports yet. I don't know if I'm crazy, but I feel like we have like Arcanine,
Yeah, but
Gyarados, Whimsicott, and
the
that's
the,
it.
the big problem with Noivern is that it's really useless. Like truly. I don't see a metagame that is very much defined by Tailwind.
Hmm.
I see it as a very regulation siege kind of metagame
Yeah, like a low
where
power
balance
national
doesn't even
dex.
have that kind of speed control. Maybe you can play a different kind of speed control. Maybe Icy Wind on Mega Gengar,
Hmm.
or Thunder Wave spam, or if they give it back to a Charizard, Tailwind can be used on Charizard as well, if of course they give it back. So and there is Lucario that is a very very fast by default. Same for Absol. Mega Metagross is fast. You don't really need Tailwind too much, and I
Yeah.
believe that for now, like we have these mons, and those are the mons we know. But just by looking at the mons that we know, we will see not too much minus Corviknight is B tier and is much better Tailwind setter
Hmm.
than than
For
Noivern,
sure.
for example. And there is Whimsy got already, so.
Yeah, Noivern.
And Dragonite learns Tailwind, by the way.
Who?
So, and Dragonite also learns Tailwind. So,
Yes, but then it should not die to the first ice beam. But
same for Noivern, so.
oh yeah. But yeah, no, Noivern definitely feels like, a regulation
Very
A,
gimmicky.
low
Very
power.
gimmicky.
If there's 0 megas, no Terra, no Dynamax, no Z moves,
No
then
Pokemon, and
no
then maybe.
Pokemon.
Maybe in another game might be strong, but.
Okay, fine. I'll put him next to Emolga.
Thank you. Which
Drumpa.
learns Tailwind, if I'm not mistaken. So, Drampa, yeah. Drampa is interesting. Drampa is one of those mons that can use Trick Room very effectively. Yeah, it already was able to do so. I would say D for a reason.
Yeah.
Because if they keep Berserk, it's B tier. If they
Okay.
don't, it might fail. It might fall to C or get on A, depending on the ability.
Wonder
So
Guard.
consider
Yeah.
it a sort of, for you watching at home, consider it a sort of fake B.
Mhm.
Might become a very fluid B.
Speaking of fluid B, here is the B for the best. Oh yeah, baby. I mean, you told me that Arcanine could probably be like the better Intimidator early format, but when I
Just
look
yearly though.
when I look at all of these mons, all I see is my goat right here. I have his plushie here. My goat is S tier. And I mean, I don't actually know about that because, like, Power Up Punch from Kangaskhan, ignoring Intimidate is a real big problem. um,
That's why I said at the beginning of all of this that Arcanine might, at the earliest phase, might be better. But
yeah.
point is, Pokemon Champions will not last 2 months. So as soon as people figure out, Incineroar, of course, will be the best. And to be honest, that was a take of mine. Like 95% of the people thinks, rightfully so, that Incineroar is better, and it will, in my opinion, be better. Arcanine might just pop up here and there, but Incineroar is overall better
Mm-hmm. It
for
is the
now.
best mon of all time. Then we have
Speaking of
Serena.
the best mon of all time,
So this is literally the Milotic issue where its ability is amazing, but it doesn't have much else.
so it really depends on the meta, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
because when at the beginning of the video, it was not the beginning, it was like, but during the video I said I won more than $1,000 with Blaziken. In the team there was Tsarina as well,
Okay.
because in a metagame full of fake out of Kangaskhan, fake out of Incineroar, there is maybe the Terminator here and there, Tsarina is not necessarily bad, but I would say C for one reason.
Okay.
The reason is, at the time, he had the Gracium Z. So on Power Whip was one of the strongest outputs that you could ask for in a team with a Bishop and a Blaziken, because it was a 1-hit KO on Tapu Fini most of the times, even with the Intimidate. So that was the reason why. And if it was not alone after Rockslide, it certainly was. So he lost a lot of momentum the very moment he lost the Z move. So I would say C, but if they bring back the Z moves, and we saw the footage, not the footage, but the PNG of the bracelet that we use in Champions, he has all the logos,
Yes.
like
So
the
eventually it
Infinity
will get it.
Stones. We will eventually get the Z move. So for now, Serena is C. But if the Z moves come back, watch out. It's not that bad. The Gracian Z, Power Whip, Serena, it's a burst damage that can add value on Queenly Majesty. But for
So
now,
I
he only has Queenly Majesty.
I could quickly explain for people who are like new. Queenly Majesty is an ability that turns off priority moves. So any move that, moves before all
Of
the
the
others.
opponent, of course.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, and it turns it off only for the opponent. So if your opponent wants to use Fake Out, one of the best moves in VGC, too bad. Sucker Punch, too bad. Aquajet, too bad. Extreme Speed, too bad. Prankster, useful Prankster moves, Encore, like Whimsicott, all of it gets turned off. And so there's only 3 Mons, I think, who have such an ability. Serena, Bruxish, and Farigiraf.
Farigiraf.
And then, of course,
If
Psychic
you
Terrain.
watched VGC lately, probably you saw Farigiraf used in VGC.
Yes,
Same function, but
exactly.
Farigiraf also has Trick Room, which is the additional factor that Serena is missing right now.
Yes, but I will say one thing. Serena also learns triple axel, and I have not seen a lot of good ice coverage anywhere in the high tiers yet. Maybe I'm missing something, but I do
Green Ninja
think.
Ice Beam,
Oh yeah, okay,
probably.
never. Yeah.
Because I assume you will play it with Water move, Dark move, Ice move, Protect.
Hmm. Okay.
I assume.
Okay. I kind of wanted to put it low B, but
That's a
okay.
point, though. Yeah, triple axel is a point. And if they keep it on Serena, it's a good move to have.
Then we have Oranguru. I despise him. but
I
he
will not
does.
stop you.
I mean, he does like have a niche that no one here else has. So people who don't know, Oranguru learns Instruct, so it can make a Mon move a second time. So if your Charizard, for example, is super fast, it's the fastest thing on the board, it's setting up Sun, you click Heat Wave, you're going to blow stuff up, and then Oranguru clicks Instruct, you do that again, and you launch that Heat Wave again. This is often seen in Trick Room teams. You have like
Because it's
Torkoal.
low, so you probably want to play.
Yes.
We've seen in the past, Oranguru played fast with Tailwind, but it was like the example that you made. If Charizard has Tailwind, might be some. It might be
Right.
because of course you have Tailwind, the attacker, and the support all together. The reason why usually Oranguru is played slow is because Oranguru has Trick Room, so you have the speed control, the support, and the attacker all together.
Yes.
Fun
So
fact for those of you that don't know, Oranguru Drampa was one of the very first combinations used with Oranguru back in the days in Sun and Moon.
that's fun. I
Because it was
think
Hyper Voice,
Oranguru is B,
Instruct, Hyper
right?
Voice. So no, it's so basically it depends on the final decks. Like, for example, is
Yes.
there a Torkoal? Yeah, B tier.
Mhm.
Because in low power format, imagine a Torkoal here. Like, remove out of the equation for a moment, like Tyranitar and Garchomp, for example. It's dangerous.
Right. So
So
I mean, I want to put it in B also because it's the
I will
only
put it
Mon
in
like
B,
in
yeah.
that niche, but I'll keep it low B. But yeah, if there's no like Mon for it to instruct like a Torkoal, sure, then it falls to C. The thing is though, Drampa has a Mega, so like surely there's gonna be a good Trick Room attacker, right? Like maybe I'm coping, but
That's why I'm putting Oranguru there, because as I said, I believe that Drampa will be at least B. I believe, unless like he has a bad ability.
Mhm.
So if Drampa is B, and you already have Conkeldurr, and you already have Tyranitar, is another example of Pokemon can do very well in Trick Room. We have some examples back down there. If I see an Ursaluna, there will be more, of
Steelix.
course. So we are actually rating, spoiler, we actually rating the current mons that we know, and not necessarily in this pool. Like, they are strong in this pool specifically. They are strong in general.
Mhm.
So considering all of that, Oranguru is being able to have telepathy, so you can, Earthquake Ursaluna instruct Earthquake again. B tier is fair, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for people who don't know, telepathy makes it so you don't take damage from your partner Pokemon. So when you click
Exactly.
Earthquake, you're actually safe.
So remember it when you will try against a double protect to use Power Up Punch on your own Pokemon, because it doesn't work. Trust someone that tried it and forgot it.
Then we have Mimikyu. This can be a Trick Room setter. It's kind of cute. It can also be an okay-ish attacker with Play Rough and Shadow Sneak. It's not an amazing Pokemon though, but I think it's definitely not the bottom of C. What do you think?
So I will say B, but it's a
Oh, okay.
sort of foresight, you know.
Okay.
I believe that if we have to consider a sort of roadmap of what mechanics we will have first,
Mm-hmm.
this is a, this is on me. If I am mistaken, it's on me. It's my fault. But I don't believe that we will see Terrastal before Z-move,
Mm-hmm.
because we are coming from Terrastal. So
Yeah.
probably they will try to delay it a little bit. I am kind of sure that after this works, like in two formats afterwards, like the third format afterwards, we will have the Z moves. Destiny Bond, if used with the Z, he has the follow me effect.
Oh.
So that's why Mimilax, the combination of Mimikyu Snorlax, was very strong in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Because you either had Trick Room, Ballet Drum, or you had Destiny Bond Z move and the Ballet Drum using Mimikyu as a follow me user. Um, Consider that this is a very specific reason why Mimikyu might be beatier, but I believe it's decent anyway. Like, it's more useful than Dragon, Blastoise, Serperior, and stuff. Because Ghost Fairy is a great typing. He has a lot of moves. He has Will-O-Wisp, he has Shadow Sneak to close certain KOs. He has the ability that is very strong, so it's beatier anyway. But if you're not convinced by all of this, remember that with the Z move, it's even stronger. So I believe that
Right.
Mimikyu will be something in Pokemon Champion.
It's also pretty good into Kangaskhan, right? Like you can Will-O-Wisp it with with almost no fear.
Yeah, because exactly, like the fact that he has these guys as ability, you are sure that you will do an attack, or at least there will be two attacks needed,
Mm-hmm.
except for Mold Breaker or stuff like that, which Gyarados has, but Gyarados doesn't have an actual threat in one hit KO, on Mimikyu. So
Mm-hmm.
probably Mimikyu is B tier, and it can be a little like B plus with Destiny Bond Zemo.
Put it like here.
Alongside Snorlax, yeah, it's very poetic.
Cool. Then we have Komo-o. Now, Komo-o, for people who don't know, has been quite good in Scarlet and Violet because it has like two main modes, right? Like you have Clangorous Soul. Wait, or is Clanging Scales? Anyway, one move makes it broken. Like one is a huge setup move, and the other is a dragon move hitting everything in its path.
Yeah,
And both sets
but
are
it
good.
drops
But the
the
thing
defense
is,
when you use it.
Terastallization was like very big for this mon because it's 4x, weak to fairy, and that is the best type in the game. So losing Terra, I fear, makes Komodo a lot weaker, like a lot more scared of everything going on around him. You don't have time to set up because Mimikyu might sneeze on you and you die.
Um, there is a fun fact, and
Mm-hmm.
this is also something for people that didn't play in 3DS era. But this is the cool part about this video, because we have a fossil and a new
New kid on the
player.
block, Gen Z.
Yeah, a new blog, Gen Z. So, what is fun about this? You mentioned the setup move of Como. You might not know that. That effect of the setup move was the very same effect of the signature Z move of Como,
Okay.
but it was a Z move, and it was spread damage, a spread Z move,
Okay.
as powerful as a Z move, but with a spread damage, and it resulted in a setup for Como at the end of the move, which means that if we do the same, and if we are honest, intellectually, we should do. If we do the same thought process of Mimikyu that we just did,
Mm-hmm.
Como will be strong with the Z move back. And you might say, but it's still Dragon fighting. True. Consider that this monk was strong against, not against, but in a meta of Tapu Koko, Tapu Fini, Tapu Lele, Tapu Bulu. So every single team had a fairy type. Tapu Bulu doesn't count because it didn't have a fairy move back then. Yeah, he has Dazzling Gleam, but you didn't play it with Dazzling Gleam. And it doesn't have it now. Like the last time we saw Tapu Bulu, it didn't learn Play Rough, if I'm not mistaken. So even if it was the case, it was played with Tapu Bulu to check Tapu Fini, to check Tapu Koko. Tapu Bulu was played Scarf because of that. Now you don't necessarily need the Scarf on the grassy terrain setter because it's Rillaboom now, and eventually. And it was played with Mega Gengar. Como was paired with Mega Gengar and Incineroar. So you had both the Perish mode, you had Mega Gengar that covers Como very, 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 very well. And you had a lot of tools to deal with that. You also had, funny enough, in some versions, a Azumarill with Belly Drum.
You will never let this go.
No, I will never, never. But Azumarill was one of the reasons why I played Sarina in my Bloodzing and Bishop team. Because of, max attack Akujet, which was a problem for my team.
So do you think Como is actually like this?
I believe that without the Z move is C.
Okay, without Z move it's C, and with Z move it's somewhere here.
With the Z move it's mid B.
Okay, so do you want to do it like bottom B now?
I believe that no, for now it's C. It's just C because I really cannot imagine a metagame where Como is top 35 picks of something, barely top 50, probably not even that. But it depends on the meta, of course, in all of this, because as we said, the gimmicky Pokemon can become something in the right spot. But overall, it's not. Imagine if he gets the Z move back and we have not the Tapu. They are not there.
Mm-hmm.
If he was strong with the Tapus, it's definitely strong without them, So let's see. But for now, it's.
Next, you have Hatterene, and the issue with this mon is that we don't see Indeedee yet. So it is like a good Trick Room attacker, but without Expanding Force and without Terra Fairy, it's not an insane Trick Room attacker either, right?
It's basically fucked by almost anything you can see above it.
Right. So we put it next to Sylveon
for now. Yeah. I believe that Indeedee will be there.
Yeah, me too.
If not
don't get me wrong.
immediately in 3 months,
Yeah,
but,
same. I think so too, but until we actually see it, I don't want to say like, oh, this will be actually
No.
good.
We cannot be sure that the purpose of this tier list is that for example, some of the informations that we saw so far and that we told so far are not certain, but almost.
Yes, exactly.
So we decided accordingly. It's one of those cases, in my opinion. But yeah, this is a key fact. It's not like probably this ability might be one tier above. We don't know that even if there is the Pokemon case.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, for all we know, like these mons were seen in the trailer, but maybe they only come out like 3 regulations from now.
Exactly. I had something on top of all of this. Trick Room Indeedee was a mistake, and I'm not referring to it like it was a bad decision. No, it was a mistake. It was a problem with the code of the game.
Yeah, it learned it by accident in raids.
Yeah, it was an accident in the raids. So, and they never removed it because of reasons. They might have said, yeah, Infinity's Trick Room is not legal. No, they never did. So, if it's Sword and Shield, it happened something similar with Exoril, but at the time, it was Hydro Pump Exoril. Who fucking cares? And this time around, it was Trick Room Indeedee. So if Indeedee doesn't have Trick Room anymore, the female version, I mean, because the male version always had it, but the female is the one paired with Hatterene. This pair of friends, they cannot do the same thing that they've done so far, because you cannot anymore go Protect Hatterene, Trick Room Indeedee, and play on mind games. You want Trick Room? Okay, follow me Trick Room. You cannot attack turn 1. You cannot do Trick Room Expanding Force.
Yeah, because one very strong thing.
Yeah, sorry.
when you lead Indeedee Hatterene, one of the strong things is like Indeedee might click Trick Room and the Hatterene might instantly expanding force. So if you do something like passive, you
Exactly.
just get blown up. So yeah.
Exactly. And it's not the
Um
case anymore.
exa-
If they,
if
unless they are not, unless they are crazy and they keep having,
I think they'll
on
keep
their
it
game
though.
and they did Trick Room, huh?
I think if Indeedee female is in this game, it will keep Trick Room. I think it's become like pretty iconic, and there's a lot of players who like playing that way, and it gives newer players who aren't like super, like, oh, I'm gonna fake out and parting shot and blah, 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 who aren't doing the crazy stuff. It gives them like a pretty easy way to get started because it's a pretty linear team. So I feel like they might keep it for that reason.
I tell you why not.
Okay.
Now, I'll tell you why it will be crazy. Because something happened in a different fashion on VGC 15 and 16 with Mega Kangaskhan. What do I mean? Power Up Punch was not technically a move of Pokemon Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. It
Mm-hmm.
was a move of Pokemon X and Y. So what people did. So basically, they took two 3DS and or they called a friend, and they switched not switched, traded
Mm-hmm.
Kangaskhan through X and Y to use the technical machine to get it back on Auras. That's what happened, and people in Game Freak didn't realize it. That was possible to do that. They considered Mega Kangaskhan in that format like, okay, we don't want Power Up Punch in this game, but then it was in the other game, and it was legal to do this thing. So, uh, unfortunately, this was something that, of course, they fixed it later on. Okay, we remove it from the moveset, so we are, safe now. We directly remove it from the moveset. But they just because Power Up Punch was iconic, it doesn't mean that they kept it.
Right. Okay.
Um, I assume they know that it was a mistake, but yeah, they might keep a Trick Room. I hope not, because it gets very toxic when it comes to our Trick Room matchup, and I prefer to not have it.
So next we have Corviknight. I have a love-hate relationship with Corviknight. I always think whenever I'm in a format where I have a problem, I think Corviknight fixes this problem. I put Corviknight in my team as the 6th mon, and it fixes the issues I'm having. I have an Ursaluna problem, there it is. I have a Landorus problem, there it is. And then you play with it, and it does nothing. But in a lower power format, that might not be true. So I'm thinking it's a solid B mon. It can set tailwind, it can
Yeah,
do body press stuff.
I agree. It's strong against Kangaskhan. It's strong against Metagross in a sense that it walls Metagross. It's strong against Tyranitar. Strong against a lot of stuff. It walls Mega Gardevoir. It walls Garchomp. It walls Snorlax. Even if
But the
Snorlax
problem is
becomes a
it
thing
needs to
once
do
again.
damage back.
Iron Defense Body Press, then you have the damage. Plus, if you want coverage about that, you can also use Power Trip. I believe it's the name of the move in English. Which is the dark move that is 20 base power, and for each stat boost that you have, it's 20 more. Usually spread with bulk up, so you stack attack boost as well. But it can also be used with Iron Defense. So if there is a ghost on the other side, instead of 0 with body press, yeah, maybe it's not the strongest, um, power trip in the history, but it's at least something. So, and in return, what can Mimikyu do to Carbon, for example? And Gengar takes it super effectively as well. So cheap damage, done.
Mm-hmm.
So Corviknight is B tier definitely for how the meta can evolve. Is B, not above because of Charizard, because of Arcanine, because of Delphox, because of several other stuff.
Right. Next, we have a mon that newer
That
players
forced
definitely
Klefki
need
to
to
sing.
know. Yeah, unfortunately. So Grimmsnarl has Prankster, meaning all of its non-attack moves, its status moves go first. And it learns a lot of them. It learns light screen and reflect, so you can put up like a defensive wall. It learns parting shot, so you can decrease stats. It learns thunder wave, so you can make opponents cry themselves to sleep because they're not only slow, but sometimes they can just randomly not move. It learns fake out, which, like we said before, is a very important move in VGC. And then for its attacking move, it learns spirit break, which is the only physical fairy move that doesn't constantly miss. And it
Yeah,
also drops the special attack while doing so. So the Grimmsnarl is like a Swiss army knife. And there have been historically teams just built around that. Just like this Grimmsnarl is always going to be led, it's always going to click its screens, and now my bulky attackers are going to go to town while you barely do damage back. So Grimmsnarl, very solid. Usually, like in Scarlet and Violet, it hasn't been the best like team and format for a long time. Usually, like in the start of Regulation I, it was very good for a month, and then afterwards it kind of fell off a little bit. But still, I think easily there will be some Grimmsnarl teams. And given that, except for the Megas, there's a lot of like weaker power mons, I think Grimmsnarl is looking good. Especially also because I think setting screens for your Mega to stick around longer is also probably extremely strong. So I probably want to do this or maybe even bottom A. But what are your thoughts?
I have this vision, okay, that I believe will be used, and definitely I will use it.
Okay.
At least to try it, at least to see what are the holes in the bot that I can eventually use when I have it against.
Mm-hmm.
Follow me for a moment because it will be not too long, but you all guys have to be very careful
Focused.
on what, like, listen closely. Grimsnall Kangaskhan lead.
Okay.
Fake out. Whatever the screen you want to set up, use it up. Okay. Whatever is the screen. Turn 2. Thunderwave. Bite.
Okay.
Kangaskhan learns bite, guys. It also learns stomp, by the way, which is pretty much the same, but it's stab. Okay. So one of the two. I would say bite because you relied on that for the dark coverage. The damage is not too important. What is important is that
Flinch.
when parental bond activates, the side effect is rerolled twice. So bite is 51% of flinch on a paralyzed target.
This sounds evil.
Same for stomp, guys. People might decide with this combination to give up on double edge or whatever to use stomp. Fact is, usually this kind of combination was a little awkward to do with Grimsnarl because turn 1, you have to use it because you don't have time for the screens most of the times. But if your partner in crime has fake out,
Yeah, this sounds
so
awful. Why do you tell people this? You could have just kept this quiet.
because if someone uses it, I have the
Oh yeah, yeah.
fatality
You
of
get to
that.
say you were first. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't believe it's said paternity or whatever. Probably I just invented a word, but I'm just tired. But whatever. I want the ownership. Let's say the
Mhm.
ownership of the paternity will be a meme in Italy. Be aware about that.
Okay.
Will escalate. But besides my 3 hours of sleep, yeah, it's definitely something very very evil, very
Yes.
evil, and it's one of those things that we didn't experience yet because Mega Kangaskhan was not there.
Mhm.
Imagine also in the future something like that that can involve Calyrex or still like right away involves Gengar because Kangaskhan has Scrappy. So this thing is applied potentially. It can be applied to anything.
Yeah. But
So
okay, but let's
you know,
move just beyond sacking because this is still kind of, it's semi gambling in a sense that okay,
no,
you're
no,
going for
no. Beyond that,
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's just they give back power up punch, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you want Grimsnall as a partner in crime of Kangaskhan as well? You
Yeah, of
set up the
course.
screens with a fake out, then you set up the other screen and you go power up punch. Why am I saying all of this? Because in my opinion, Grimsnall is A.
Oh, A
With
even.
Kangaskhan is A. Because it's the best Pokemon that you can pair Kangaskhan with, in my opinion. They
Somewhere
are
here
born
then?
to be together.
Okay. Interesting.
I,
Okay,
I
I'm
didn't
happy I'm
see
not
this.
crazy though. I thought it would be
Hmm?
good, but I didn't know it would be A good. But of course we're
No,
speculating, but yeah.
yeah, we are speculating, of course. Then we figure out that this combo is shit, blah blah, that they cannot be played together. But in my opinion, they can,
Mm-hmm.
and that's
Okay.
also one of the reasons why I don't see Incineroar as a goat of the intimidators anymore. Because if you play Grimmsnarl and you play Kangaskhan, Incineroar is a little, maybe too much. If you have Arcanine, it does different things. He has a
Oh,
fast Will-O-Wisp. It checks faster Kangaskhan's. It checks Metagross Adamant. It checks Tyranitar. It checks a lot of, not Tyranitar in sense of like offensively, but with the Will-O-Wisp. So I was plotting this from the beginning of the video. Now I can come out. In my opinion, Kangaskhan, Grimmsnarl, and Arcanine will be the first trio that will define the evil balance stuff, so to speak, of Pokemon Champ.
that's crazy.
I will start from them.
Okay. Sounds good. I will try to beat that team day one because it sounds awful to play against.
Be
Next we have
aware
Dragapult.
of, yeah.
I
No,
think
I
Dragapult is
will,
extremely
mhm.
good.
Yeah,
Um,
just real quick, I was closing the joke. Be aware that you will face Kangaskhan, Grimmsnarl, Arcanine, Azumarill all together, and you will cry about it. But whatever. Now we can move on.
with
I
Azumarill,
said
of
my bullshit.
course.
We can move on.
I think Dragapult is very good. Like a lot of people will probably
Yeah.
know that the choice band set, people are just putting clear body, which so you can't get intimidated. You can't also, get speed dropped by icy wind or something. You have choice band and then you just destroy things. But I think beyond that, this can also be a great support. It is extremely fast. It learns Thunder Wave and it learns Will-O-Wisp. So depending on what your team needs, if you need a speed control that's not Tailwind Trick Room, but just like, in the way Flutter Mane clicks Thunder Wave right now sometimes, this mon can do that. If you need a fast burn to outspeed a lot of these megas and just burn them before they can move, Dragapult can do that. Dragon Darts, its move, is very good as well. It hits twice basically and it redirects. So if one protects, the two darts hit the other target. This is like a smart redirecting move, so it's just a really great signature move to have. It learns Phantom Force, so you can go through Protect. It learns a lot of stuff. It learns U-turn, so you can do a choice band type of, attack, go out, put something else in. This mon is a Swiss Army knife, and I think, given how many quote-unquote weaker mons we see here, except for the Megas, I think Dragapult looks incredible.
I agree. I agree on the A tier. I agree on the fact that it might be considered A tier both offensively and supportingly. I agree on all of that. I agree with everything you said. It's very strong Pokemon, potentially very, very, very strong. Depends on the meta. And I mean, we are basically gathering my favorites. So I have another Infinity Stone, which is Dragapult. So far it's Kangaskhan, Grimmsnarl, Arcanine, Azumarill, and Dragapult. Very scary team. Very scary team. Be
You
careful.
don't have a special attacker yet. I think you need to add Charizard. Oh no, you have Arcanine already. Damn, you need another special attacker. I don't know which one though.
I will figure out. I will figure out.
Zygarde. Okay.
We will
Then we.
explain Zygarde a little later.
Yeah. That's coming. Then we have Basque Legion. So Basque Legion is my goat. He was on my best performance so far. I love him, but I do think he's kind of out of his element in like in what we
Yeah.
see here. Like being water is good, but being water is pointless in sun. You get intimidated by Arcanine. You're slower than the Absol even after your Scarf. Maybe I got to do the math, but I think you're straight up
No,
slower than the
Absol is
Absol.
faster than Absol. No, sorry, Absol. What the hell I said? Absol is faster than Basculegion. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm thinking about Scarf. Like I think Absol is
No,
even
scarf,
faster than
scarf.
Scarf.
No,
Basculegion.
I'm speaking about the scarf.
Oh, okay, yeah, perfect. Yeah, yeah. So it's faster than
Even if
that.
Jolly max speed is Absol is faster.
Yeah. So I think this all works against Basque Legion. I do think like the adaptability scarf set is still real, but because there's not that many waters that we see, right? It's
You
Gyarados
know
and
why? You know
but
why not anymore?
why?
Fake out this time works on Basculegion.
Oh, because of Scrappy.
Kangaskhan will redefine
Oh.
the viability of the ghost typing, both
Oh.
because of Scrappy and Sucker Punch. So
Right.
Dragapult can protect at least. If you can run it with protect, like protect
Yeah.
Will-O-Wisp or protect Thunderwave, Dragon Darts, Phantom, for example. Nah, well,
You would put it lower?
yeah, B tier just because of it can regulate at the end of the game.
Last
Last
respect
respect,
stuff.
last respect.
Hey, you know which mon you can't last respects?
Kangaskhan.
Exactly.
And people still argue on, yeah, but there is Charizard, they're strong. They're strong. Mega Metagross and Mega Kangaskhan are the real deal. Deal with
Okay.
that.
All right. Maybe basically okay, I'm doing my veto though. I'm putting him next to Gyarados. My fish is staying in relatively high B. But he might be a little lower after Kangaskhan, it's true.
YouTube stuff. We are talking about the Pokemon, okay? Just to let you know.
Okay, moving on to a real strong Mondo. Hisuian Ursaluna. So, again, people who don't know, this thing is an insane Trick Room attacker, but it can also be relatively good in Tailwind. You know, it's like, it's slow, but in Tailwind it can sometimes be fast enough.
In the double speed control teams, yeah, it can
Yes,
work very
it
well.
is. It does insane amounts of damage because of Guts Flame Orb. The only issue I can see for this Mon is that without Terra Ghost, you can fake out cycle it, and also it needs to compete with another normal physical attacker.
And
And
that's the
so
reason why
that is
will
like the
not
old. But
be.
I think, despite that, I think there's going to be teams without Kangaskhan. I know that's crazy. And I think if your team has any slow mode, Hisuian Ursaluna is in there. I think Hisuian Ursaluna is crazy. And I think either it's high A or it's low S. What do you think?
It's IA.
Okay.
S means that level of versatility of multiple functions that they can have. Ursaluna does one thing, it does it tremendously well. Okay, no doubts about it. But it does one thing. And it's very strong here because of ground moves on Gengar and Tyranitar, and on Metagross, of course. Ground moves on Incineroar and Arcanine. It can hit very well, even with the neutral facade, other targets. And which for Charizard, like we didn't see it yet, and I don't believe we will see it. But Ursaluna can learn Rock Slide, but just to let you know that it does, but don't do that. And that's why I said we will not see it, because Facade is more than enough to kill Charizard if they're not extra bulky, after Intimidate. But after Intimidate, I assume
It
that
kills after Intimidate.
no, I just assume the Facade is an higher damage anyway, because I am calculating right now will be 4 times super effective on a spread Rock Slide. I believe that few points of difference. So yeah, don't play Rock Slide. For the love of God, it's useless.
I mean, if they run redirection on their Charizard or something, it's still real, but
Yeah, but redirection on with Charizard and a Trick Room setup.
yeah, it's not really.
Yeah, you can deal with that even without Rock Slide, in my opinion.
Oh, you can, however, do like Charizard next to Sinistcha and click Rage Powder, and then you wall him completely.
Speaking of,
Yeah, we'll
we
get
will
to
see
that
it
soon.
later. Yeah, we will get there. Get
Next,
to that.
Sneasler. Okay, my hot take, I think Sneasler is actually crazy. Because if Raichu has electric terrain, you can do Electric Seed Unburden stuff to make him faster than everything by a gigantic margin. It can close combat Kangaskhan. It can throat chop Metagross. I don't know if that's enough without Terra Dark, though, probably not. I think Dire Claw is a bullshit move. People who don't know, Dire Claw is a move that just randomly rolls a dice, and sometimes you sleep your opponent, sometimes you poison your opponent, sometimes you para. I've lost my first, potential day 2 to the Dire Claw doing the sleep. Hee hee ha ha. It is I am so mad about that still. It is incredibly strong, and I just think Unburden is insane, and I think fighting is insane. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a real mon. I think it's somewhere in A tier. I don't know where though, but I definitely think it's going to be relevant. What do you think?
I think this is Stockholm syndrome. First,
Uh-oh.
you got beat up by Sneasler, now you fell in love with it.
No, I know
But
I hate it.
but jokes aside, I believe that Sneasler is uh, in a strange spot. For
Okay.
example, yeah, definitely it can be something with the terrain. Is something with Focus Sash anyway, in my opinion. It's a very strong Pokemon. It eats super effectively a lot of stuff because it also has Rock Slide, and in Sneasler case, it needs it for Charizard. It cannot, hyper ultra facade KO bye bye. The only concern is Metagross. It really
Mm-hmm.
doesn't touch. But besides Metagross, it touches very well a lot of stuff. And there are not too many Pokemon you can deal easy with Sneasler. We see some of them in B tier, like Aegislash or Corviknight, for example. But yeah, if you look at most of the others, they can be annoyed by Sneasler, at least
Mm-hmm.
annoyed. My opinion and take about this is that Sneasler is another reason why Arcanine, Grimmsnarl, Kangaskhan will be a lot strong together because you can either pair Grimmsnarl with Kanga, Grimmsnarl with Arca, and Arca with Kanga to deal with this. And I
So,
believe that the more like this is a prediction I didn't see in any place. Probably people already are talking about it in private groups, but I just don't believe on keeping the secret because it will come out at some
mhm.
point. And Sneasel is one of the few mons that can deal with that. So that's why I would say A. Yes, it's not S, just because yeah, it has limits, but not too many limits. I would say that
Would
it's
you put it
even
high
above.
A?
Yeah, IA. I would say IA. Yeah.
Okay. Then we have Mousehold, which is a supportive mon more so. Like it has Follow Me and it has Friend Guard, which makes your partner harder to take down. It also has Population Bomb, which is an absolute bullshit move that can randomly just take out a bunch of strong mons, especially when you're not intimidated. I think in a vacuum it's not insane, but I think given how few support mons we've seen, and I think being able to redirect next to a Mega is really good. I feel like it might be high B. What's
I
your take?
agree. I agree. I
Hmm.
agree because of the all the supportive moves and learns. So some of them we didn't see actually in the past formats of Scarlet and Violet because in Scarlet and Violet they had a very limited use in terms of moves.
Hmm.
There were very few moves that were really worthy. But for example, after you with
Yeah.
you are against a you have a Tyranitar by your side, you are against a threatening Pokemon, you can use after you to outspeed and just attack. Or you can go Super Fang Ashrans, for example, still with Tyranitar. You can go Super Fang Heat Wave. It's faster than Charizard It's faster than, I believe it's in speed tie with Mega Metagross. So it's a very strong Pokemon, also because of Frangard.
Yeah.
So yeah, based on the fact that we don't actually have too many supporters so far, we will have them, but Mousehold is very, very cool, in my opinion.
Yeah, we also can't know, which supporters we'll have. For example, in Regulation H, something
Exactly.
like Electabuzz and Magmar are good, but those are pre-evolutions, and so far a lot of the mons we've seen aren't evolved. So we don't even know, what kind of access we're gonna have to pre-evolutions. I imagine it might be more limited. Like I don't think they'll let us play with Charmander, even though.
No, no, I would not install it then.
Next, I'm going to let you talk about Armor Rouge. I think you have opinions.
Do I?
Yeah,
So Armarouge, yeah, I actually have them. So Armarouge is one of those months that pretty much as Attorney, they depend a lot on there is an ID or not, you know.
yeah.
Um, but I believe it's nice. It's a nice Pokemon. Flash Fire is not a bad ability compared. Like if we consider that we have Charizard as one of the strongest monsters, but basically everything it is. Like, why would you not play Dalfox instead,
Mm-hmm.
for example? Of
That's
course,
true.
I tell you why, probably. Levitate. Because Levitate doesn't match with the
Psychic.
Psychic.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I guess Dalfox will be played outside Trick Room
Mm-hmm.
teams, outside the EDD teams, and will be there most as sort of defensive check. Like it tanks Dazzling Gleam, it tanks Expanding Force, it tanks Eruption, it tanks Heat Wave. That's the usage. Like why it's useful,
Mm-hmm.
Um, and Armarouge will effectively replace Dalfox in that role. Like there was not a real chance that Dalfox could have without the Mega, but Armarouge, especially because of Mega Dalfox, will be the only fire type using
Expanding
Trick
Force
Room.
user type of thing.
Yeah, as long as we don't have, of course, Torkoal,
Yeah.
because otherwise Attorney plus Torkoal, not Attorney plus Armarouge.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a cute Pokemon to say the best. The best case scenario is a cute Pokemon. That's what I think.
Then we have Tinkaton. It has a crazy move and not much else. Oh, Mold Breaker is a good ability, but it doesn't really have anything else to like abuse it, I guess.
I agree.
So you want to put it like below Scizor, I guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Palafin. So again, if you're I've never played Palafin, is the only user of from zero to hero. So when it enters the field first, it's a little dolphin with not much going for it. If you swap it out and then it comes back in, it basically comes into the game like a legendary. It has
Yeah.
insanely good stats when it's in its hero form, and it has Jet Punch, which is an incredible priority move. So in lower power formats, this was like the Watermon for balance teams. Now, I feel like except for the megas, we kind of are in a lower power format. I don't know if that's scope. And I also don't see that many good waters, so I almost want to put it in B, even though, I don't know.
Above Azumarill, I will say first.
Yeah, above
For
Azumarill.
sure.
But
Uh,
I
I,
think even a bit higher, maybe
you know
like
why
there.
it's high?
Why?
The answer is the next pick of the tier list.
Oh yeah. Okay, it also learns
Because of
haze.
AIDS.
Yeah.
Because of AIDS.
Yes. Okay.
In my
So
opinion, Palafin will be the perfect water type in the Kangaskhan Grimmsnarl Arcanine. And I mean it, like, for like, now seriously talking. Previously I mentioned that Zobaril, of course, was a meme.
yes.
Maybe. But Kangaskhan Grimmsnarl Arcanine Palafin Dragapult. it seems very balanced to
Yeah,
me.
but we don't have a special attacker and we don't have a
Yeah, I know that
grass.
we don't have the special attacker. We will get to that. But point is, but for now it's Palafin. Let's say that there is Primarina.
Yeah, but I
It's
think Palafin
AIDS.
is actually
It does
better than
AIDS
Prima
anyway.
there.
I believe so. But if you want to have a 6 slot that is physical, maybe you can switch to a special attacker,
Hmm.
water type or whatever. Point is, you definitely need a AIDS or something because, and now we can talk about the elephant in the room.
The
This
well, yeah,
will
the
be,
elephant.
yeah, this will be something very, very interesting. Exactly. Not we have to talk about them combined.
Yes.
First, because they combine. First, if you guys don't know that, there is an ability on Tatsugiri which is called Commander, which allows Dondozo to hit Tatsugiri and have a boost on every stat, a +2 on every stat, and kind of become a sort of ultimate boss to defeat
Yeah, it's
for
like
the
a raid
opponent.
boss. Hmm.
You cannot attack Tatsugiri as long as Dondozo doesn't go to KO. And so far, we imagine this situation like Dondozo Tatsugiri, and if Dondozo dies, Tatsugiri is basically,
Bad.
doomed. It's
Yes.
going to die very quick. There is the Mega Evolution now.
Yes.
So I don't know. Probably now, when the final boss dies, there is the second phase.
Yeah, it's the
you know,
second final boss, sadly.
there's the second final boss. Of course, Mega Tatsugiri is not that much strong. It really depends on the ability. The typing is good. Dragon Water is not a bad typing at all.
Hmm.
I
I,
am
I
just afraid that it's a sort of boosted commander.
Oh, that would suck so bad. Yeah, this part is kind of like depends on mega ability, but I think even without a mega ability, this is still gonna be an
They
A,
will be used.
level thing.
Yeah.
Also, because keep in mind, you can now literally start with Kangaskhan as a broken mega, start dealing damage, start being annoying, or another mega. But we've been glazing Kangaskhan so much, I'm keeping it up. And then once they finally deal with the Kangaskhan, here's my second basically mega of like the Dondozo. You're playing two broken mons instead of one. And so for that reason, I think Dondozo definitely feels extra strong here. Every other player only gets to use one mega, and you're basically running two mons of that level. Beyond that, I do think this is going to force players to get better at playing into Dondozo. And what do I mean by that? Whenever I see players face Dondozo, they don't seem to really think about what happens after they get rid of Dondozo. And they're just like, come on, need to get rid of it, need to get rid of it. And they just, blast attacks into it, cool. And then afterwards, they still end up losing to what's left, to the Tatsugiri. And I think if you're a good balance player, you usually try to ensure that you take out the Tatsugiri as it jumps out of Dozo's mouth, or you sleep it as it jumps out of Dozo's mouth. And
Or
if Hmm?
no, sorry. Conclude.
And if they don't mega it before that, if this is indeed a case of you want to mega it after, I think the skill of taking out Dozo and having your partner take out Tatsugiri as that happens, I think is going to become even more important.
I agree because Tatsugiri could mega evolve eventually. In some cases, I add something on top of that.
Okay.
Basically, what can be the worst enemy of Dondozo can also be the greatest part,
Mm-hmm.
because we spoke about AIDS. There is a Pokemon in A tier that learns AIDS. AIDS
Gengar.
Gengar.
Yes.
But Gengar can also be used alongside Dondozo with Perish Song and Yawn.
Oh my god, you can perish your own Tatsugiri with your Gengar and
Yeah,
then
and
have a
they
mega
cannot do.
next to a Dozo.
They could eventually. You can first turn like Yawn and something. Then you enter with Protect. You enter with Tatsugiri. They cannot switch out them. Besides, party shot or whatever. Then you enter with Tatsugiri, perish Song, you keep trapping things, and then you enter with Dondozo, then Tatsugiri dies, and you enter back with Gengar.
And you can't be fake out cycled, you can't be intimidate cycled because you're just
You can
stuck.
be fake outed by Kangaskhan.
Yeah, but not cycled because they can't cycle
Not
out. Is
cycled.
what I mean.
No, cycled, no.
So yeah, that sounds horrible. I am not stoked for that. We should probably put these a little higher now that oh oops. Now that we've spoken more about them. I'm also
Yeah.
starting to feel like maybe Arcanine should not be at the top of A. Like we
No. I told you, in my opinion, will be top three. Like not top three usage, of course, but will be part of the strongest trio.
yes. Okay, but by itself it feels weaker than a lot of the mons here, in a vacuum.
On a vacuum, I agree, but it still does a lot of useful stuff. Plus, fortunately, it's double battles, so
Yes.
you're never alone, kinda. Which like the Pokemon is never alone, pretty much.
Also, you can Will-O-Wisp Dondozo if the Dondozos aren't fast enough. I guess they will be forced to be faster than Arcanine purely because of its
I
existence.
I I I agree. They will. And
Next we
this time
have
around, Arcanine cannot become grass, by the way. So
yeah, that's also a big problem.
something
I'm gonna
you
miss
should
Terra.
consider. Learn to play, you noob. Joking.
Honestly, the last like I want to say 6 months. I feel like I've been playing, like I've been improving in the sense that I've been pressing Terra less. I've been trying to like keep it for so damn long. Sometimes not even clicking it by the end of the battle because the 50s it creates makes not clicking it kind of broken. So I've already been learning how to play without it accidentally.
Yeah, but a lot of people will wake up, in my
Hmm.
opinion. I'm not saying before anyone like um, interprets what I said in a wrong way. I'm not saying that people that is strong now will not be strong later. They will. It's not like they will become noobs out of all of a sudden. But what I mean is that they will need a little time
Hmm.
to readapt, because playing without the Terra is not as playing with the Terra. Because a lot of times I lost matches on the simulator, like we cannot mention anymore, uh, because I was sure that they were going to Terra, they didn't, just because of vibe.
Hmm.
There was not a logic behind that. It was a 50-50.
Yeah.
And maybe I used the wrong move because of that. It will not be happening anymore
Hmm.
for some time. It will become a thing again in the future, but for some months, maybe a year, we will not see that. So the
Yes.
play style, the way a Pokemon is defined, we saw it with, for example, a Dragon. It cannot Terra anymore. That other Pokemon
Tyranitar.
cannot Terra. Tyranitar, it cannot Terra anymore, and it's still strong. But for example, Dragon Ball doesn't have Terra Blast Choice Band anymore. So and Dondozo right now can be spored if you don't play safety goggles.
Yeah.
It can be Clear Smog if there is Clear Smog. By the way, Gengar learns Clear Smog, just so you know.
I fear Gengar
Um,
learns every move.
yeah, kinda,
It's like
kinda.
Arceus.
So,
Um,
yeah, whatever.
the giraffe. So we've already been speaking about Queenly Majesty from Serena. The giraffe is kind of just a better version of that.
Yeah,
In the same way that Mousehold is like one of the few good supports, I think Giraffe is one of the few good supports. I think if Fake Out Kangaskhan becomes a big deal, I think Giraffe automatically has to become a big deal. Just to like
yeah, sure.
stop fake out cycling. I also think that we haven't seen any good trick room setters so far. Like Oranguru is okay, it's fine, but it's not a great trick room setter.
Oranguru, Gardevoir, and Mimikyu, but Gardevoir on top of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Farigiraf is very strong against the combination that we discussed. The Thunder Wave Fake Out, Spam with Bite, and
Mm-hmm.
or Stomp. So, yeah, definitely Farigiraf is B tier to say the least.
Might be higher even, but it's hard to say without, seeing the rest of the format.
Yeah.
Um, Next we have a mon that I think will fall off, but maybe you have another take. Here's
No, I
King
don't think it
Gambit.
will. I don't think it will. Actually, will be better because of the Pokemon that are format. Like
Really?
if
You don't
you
think that power up punch is a big problem for this little fella?
first there has to be a power up punch.
Hmm.
Second, it's strong against Gengar, it's strong against Metagross, it's strong against Absol. He has low kick for Tyranitar. Also, Tyranitar has low kick for King Gambit. Fair enough, but um, it's very good Pokemon against a lot of things. Like that's Sucker Punch for Dalfox, the Iron Head for Gardevoir. It doesn't have the Terra anymore. I agree. So the Terra Blast flying bullshit was before. We will not see it anymore. But if it's not A, it's IB. But King Gambit, it's the only counter intimidate, anti intimidate, let's say, that we have
No, it
in the format.
isn't. Milotic is right
The
here.
real, like the real one.
Yeah.
You can play Bishop with Heavy Light if you want, but King Gambit,
Okay,
little
yeah,
better.
I just thought that like without Terra, I feel this thing is like slow and it's just slow. I don't know what else to say. And it's not doing the weather thing like Tyranitar either. I don't know. But Sucker Punch is really good though. Like if you get one Swords Dance off, you kind of just start sweeping
No
almost everything.
Swordens, no Swordens. Forget Swordens.
Really?
Yeah, forget it. You need the Assault you need 4 moves.
Damn. Okay, I see.
With that said, is like worst case scenario IB, best case scenario IA. I would say A because I copy him with King Gambit a lot, and because I believe that it will be very good against a lot of stuff. It will be meta, like the
Okay.
spam of Intimidate, whether it's Incineroar or Arcanine, being able to resist the normal move of Kangaskhan, being very strong against Gengar. Uh, there are being very strong against Absol as well, against Dalfox, against a lot of stuff. Gardevoir is very good Pokemon, in my opinion.
Okay. I found your grass special attacker for Kangaskhan, by the way.
Oh
Um,
yes!
So this is going to be
Finally!
your special attacker. It is going to redirect fighting moves away from Kangaskhan. It's also going to heal it after it took a little bit of damage through the screens. It's going to set Trick Room, so your Kangaskhan is suddenly, actually not... I mean, Kangaskhan is quite slow, right? Am I crazy?
No, Mega Kangaskhan is fast.
How fast?
It's base 100.
Oh, okay.
No, it's
Okay, so
fast.
you
Mega
don't really need
Kangaskhan is
Trick
fast.
Room. But I think Rage Powder, and also just the fact that you need like a special attacker kind of on the team, and you need the
Uh,
grass. I think Sinistcha is real.
in B tier, though. It's not that
No,
much real. And there is a lot of stuff that is bad for too
like
much.
Gengar.
Like Gengar, like
Absol.
Incineroar, like Arcanine, like Absol, like. And the list goes on and on and on.
Hmm.
Tyranitar, King Gambit, Dragapult. Too much.
Do you think it's worse or better than these other two, though?
I believe the position that you just picked is the perfect one.
Okay.
If we have to do a tier list of supporters, top 5, Sinistcha is rightfully in top.
At the bottom, then, because you have Grimmsnarl, Wims, Fari. I think Sinistcha is better than Mousehold. I don't know about you.
It depends on the team. Like
Yeah,
if
of
you
course,
need
of course. But
healing, I agree. But Super Funk plus attack is real, in my opinion, in
Mhm.
lower power form.
Then we have Arch. We haven't seen Pelipper yet, so like it's hard to say. We can assume that Pelipper
We
is
will have a
coming.
rain. We will have a rain, whether it's Politoed or Pelipper. There is no way we have not rain
Yeah,
setups.
only Sun on
They always,
Charizard and no Rain. That would be crazy.
yeah, Charizard and Tyranitar there has to be rain, and there
Okay,
will
so
be also
assuming we
snow as
get
well.
Rain, I'm guessing it's an Amon, right? Surely.
Uh, yeah, it's kinda in many ways. Because of the stamina, which is very strong against Kangaskhan. It's a very good sponge with Kangaskhan.
Hey,
against
how about
Kangaskhan.
this? How about this? You play it on your Kangaskhan team and you quick attack it. You do no damage and you get 2 stamina boosts.
I don't believe it learns quick attack.
You well, some other move then is the same thing. You just like hit it twice with
Yeah,
a normal move. It does no damage.
you can fake out it.
I mean, do you want to do that?
I don't know why. Why not? It's better than bite. But if you're brave enough, you power a punch, so you boost 2 Pokemon at once.
that
Follow me
yeah
for more advice as competitive.
yeah. Go to
But
Metafy.
yeah, go to Metafy and go to Well. No, jokes aside, jokes aside, I believe that yeah, with Rain it's very fair A tier because of the reasons that we discussed. It's also strong against Metagross. It's strong against. There are a lot of physical attackers here,
Yes.
and so a stamina Pokemon will be something. And you can play with the Assault Vest as well. I would say above Kingambit. Kingambit is more a little more niche, but it's very universal in what it does. Like you have the strong priority, you have coverage, you have a lot of stuff. But actually, is slightly better, especially with Rain.
I think another thing about it is that, like, just like we mentioned with Dondozo being like your second quote unquote restricted compared to your Mega, this is another one of those that feels like a raid boss almost.
That's why I included King Gambit and Archel, because King Gambit in terms of stats is huge. It's
Mhm.
very huge. It's a mega evolution of Bishop, basically.
Yeah.
So even more probably than that. So that's why I wanted to include it. As I said, if you don't consider it A, fair, and my assumption, it can be B as well.
hmm
But besides the subjective point of view that it can be applied here, I believe that King Gambit and Archeldon are, yeah, the alongside on those or one of those cases of second mega evolution, so to speak, um, of a team. Same for Garchomp and other exceptions. I would say to skip that bullshit that is the second last. Put it
No,
on C.
Hydrapple is a okay C tier mon.
That's a C tier mon. Oh no, it's okay, and then C tier mon. You know.
Yes, yes. I mean, hey, if you need a trick room, hey, this is a grass. You can put him on your team, bro. But yeah, Hydrapple, sadly, even though it's one of those dragons with lots of attack, lots of stats, it's just not that amazing.
Nah, it's bad.
However, we added this last mon here because we just saw the Japanese circuit poster. So for the Japanese players, their nationals, every year there's like a very fancy graphic for them. You know, it's quite hype, and that graphic usually tended to show mons that are relevant for that season. So for example, last year you had Miraidon and Koraidon on there because it was Regulation I. Now we saw a bunch of the mons that are here, so we can be quite sure that a bunch of the mons here are actually going to be legal, like we suspected. But in the middle of that graphic, we see Mega Zygarde, you know, with the big hammer. That thing is ridiculous. The stats are like what, 216 HP, 216 special attack. It has like
Yeah,
that move
something
that
like
one
that.
shots the entire game. The only issue is it only enters that state when its HP falls below 50%, right? Or was it something along those lines? I don't really
Yeah,
remember the
I
specifics.
just want to say something about that.
Mm-hmm.
Japan nationals will be before wars.
Yes.
That will mean that we will have restricted format before wars. Two
No.
months in Pokemon Champions. It's never going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we will not include it in any tier because if it is restricted format, we should redefine all of this.
Yeah.
But
How
we
about
mentioned it because, of course, Zygarde will be a part of the Pokemon Champions games. The Pokemon Champions game. It's one game this time. I have to get used to it. Um, but like, it's not like a spoiler, you know. Of course, it will. It was going to be a part of the game, but we wanted to mention it because probably it's just for the graphic, but it might be a foresight of something else, which is maybe restricted format is not too far.
Do you want to hear the worst take that I can give you?
No restricted, the only restricted is Zygarde.
The yes.
I hope
I
no, no, no,
I
no. It
saw
never gonna
Eternal
happen.
Flower Floette also on that graphic, and I have a feeling that Zygarde and Eternal Flower Floette might be legal, and that it's gonna be the ZA decks.
Nah, I don't.
I mean, I don't know. Again, it's purely speculation,
Cannot be
but
the
like,
Z8 decks because you have King Gambit, you have Incineroar, you have a lot of stuff that is not included.
yeah, but maybe these aren't in yet. Like they showed that in the trailer in spots, but maybe they're just not part of the first regulation. I don't know. Again, we can't know for sure, right?
We
But
cannot know. We cannot know for sure.
but that I don't know. I would not be stoked for that.
No, no, they are crazy, man. Not that much.
hmm
Not that much.
Okay, so we're gonna keep him in the last thing for now. We will assume he's not legal. If he was, of course, he might be there.
If it was any
But
other, like, there is no way that there is a format where Zygarde is the only actual restrict.
we're going to
No
clip
way.
this. We're gonna clip this, and then in a month or two, we're gonna see.
Clip that, and if it will become the case, I found my special attacker for the team. And plus, I will have a very valid excuse to play Azumarill finally. Yes.
Okay, so that is all. Of course, if anyone wants to check out either Alessio on Twitter or Capital Underdogs, the team, links will be all in the description. Go follow everywhere. There's going to be not only these types of videos, also like shorter videos, trying to get you as competitive as possible once these events drop. Is there anything else you still wanted to share with anyone?
Yeah, if you look for the team and you don't find this logo, don't worry. We had to change it, so it's everything normal.
Yeah. The logo looked too much like another dog.
Another dog, yeah. Which suddenly was not okay anymore, but whatever.
Well, yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. This
We
was a
love you,
long
Pokemon.
video. Thanks for being here, and I will see you
Thank you.
soon. Ciao.
Bye.